What's going on? You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. We are live from FlavorFest. I got Emcee N.I.C.E in the building with me. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, you know, it's up. We up early. You know what I'm saying? Especially me, because, you know, I'm from the West Coast.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's a whole nother thing for you, man. So how's it been so far, FlavorFest, for you?
It's been very dope. You know, I love the camaraderie and the family atmosphere where, you know, nobody's bigger than anybody, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody's here, like, supporting each other and just, you know, fellowshipping. It's fire.
Yeah, man. So we had our panel yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Giving out that wisdom, and I remember you said it was like most of these people won't even take my advice.
Yeah, it's interesting. People want to hear it, you know what I'm saying, but then they don't apply it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they hear it and they know it too. Like they hear and go, oh yeah, I want to do that. Oh yeah, that's right, I should do that. And then, you know, when it comes down to it, they don't.
And I was telling you, I was like, a lot of people, they don't know that they're getting good advice. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know the gravity. Yeah. Even though we try to tell them, we tell them your whole bio. They don't get like this is serious information you're getting right now.
Well, I even think with the bio, they're like, okay, why is he here?
Yeah, can't be real.
Yeah. So if you dope, you know what I'm saying? Why are you here? Yeah. Why are you at this location as if they're not deserving of the information that is being given to them? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it was all about. It's like, you know, I made it. I became successful, but here's how I did that, and here's how you can do that. You just have to apply yourself. A lot of people don't want to put sweat equity in. You know what I mean? And then they confuse sweat equity with funding. You still got to spend some money.
Yeah.
You just got to spend it smartly and just at the same time, as I was explaining to the people yesterday, when you understand the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT analysis, you know where to put that money. You know where not to go and where to go and where you can take advantage, you know, of different opportunities that are available and the threats that exist there. But people, you know, because they see the resume and that I'm here amongst them being common, it's like, wait, hold up. No, aren't you supposed to be in a Maybach? Aren't you supposed to be at the W somewhere, like chilling what you doing with us? But at the end of the day, you know, I'm one of God's people just like you and sharing that wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, they don't realize how dedicated you have been to teaching and giving opportunities. Like I remember there was a question yesterday, what do we need to get this to the next level? And you've been telling us for years now, like, this is what we need.
Right.
People are waiting. Like, let's go.
Yeah, so. I think, the thing about it is the culture has to invest in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and that includes artists, that includes consumers, that includes, like, when you invest in the culture and you can elevate the culture and make it just as important as, like, for instance, I'm a managing editor for Rise Magazine, right? So Rise Magazine is like the CHH Source and XXL. But if you're not supporting it like that, you know what I mean, then it won't be this XXL or the Source of CHH, only because we're not supporting our own. And so I think it's real important that as we travel forward in our journeys, you know, artistically or executively, is we must do that.
So the time you spent in mainstream, what's one of the best lessons you learned as far as you know, anything professionalism wise that we're missing? Anything like what do you think is the main thing that you can pass on?
Is never poo-poo on anybody, because I had some executive friends that became presidents and VPs that were just runners. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Trying to get on, you know, and I was cool with them, you know, and as they were going, I was helping them, and I was on, but I was giving them the tips, and then once they got to a place, they're like, yo, nice.
Yeah.
How about we do this? You know, you looked out for me, I'm going to look out for you. We don't have the look out for mentality here.
Yeah.
We have what I call meism. Me, my, and mine versus we, us, and ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we can develop the strategy of we, us, and ours, then it could be, you know, it could thrive.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's a key thing. We've been in this thing long enough to see people, like we were talking to Portia Love. Portia Love was just sitting in our studio one day, and we didn't know anything about her. Really, I didn't anyway. I know Jeremiah did, but now she's killing it. You know what I mean? So it's like that. Don't ever step on anybody or think anybody's small or anything like that, because these people, even if they never become anything, like that's not the right heart in the first place, right? So, but if you treat everybody with respect, there's people that just sitting in our studio now, killing it in this game. So, yeah, man, I think you're setting a great example. What do you have? I know some stuff, so you can tell me what you could tell me. So, what do you have planned next? Because I know you got a lot of stuff in the pot.
Well, yeah, I just became the ambassador for the Music RC, which is the music registration company. What happens is there's 117,000 songs released every week, right? 80% of them are not completely registered properly, which is why artists miss out on digital money. So, with this company, they're going to help the artists register on all single platforms that's needed to help them achieve that. You see what I'm saying? And then Summerfest, God's House of Hip Hop 2020 Summerfest hasn't been canceled. It's rescheduled for 2022, and we got some super things that are happening, for that. And that announcement is going to come in January. We're waiting on Major League Soccer to give us their schedule because it's going to be in a professional stadium. So we're waiting on that, and I believe that's going to thrive. And then my album, Emcee N.I.C.E, Iron Dove, you know what I'm saying? Act 1 is going to be 3 acts. So Act 1 is The Blessed Coast, comes out January 14th. I'm excited about that. We're going to do a listening party January 8th in ATL. I think it's gonna be at TI Studio. So it's gonna be a doozy. We got some great people on it, from Fred Hammond to Bishop Cortez Vaughn, but we got some no names that a lot of people don't know, like Jared Burton, Jay Will, De La Mans, Resurrection, but Erica Mason, so we got her. Uncle Reese is on it. I got Gospel Gangsters, my man Chili Baby and OG Domino on it. So and Phil J, by the way. Yeah. So it's going to be a nice spectrum of that. I pride myself in showcasing those that you may not know or you may know, and then going from there. So we're excited about that push. There's a big announcement coming in January, February, where I'm going to shock the world. So, so I'm excited about that.
That's a tease, all right. So today's show is gonna be interesting. We're just going free flow. We got people in the building, man. It's gonna be in and out. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, you got my man. Here. Stephen Malcolm's in the building.
What's
my man? Martin.
Y'all take a seat. Yeah. Y'all take a seat.
Pull up.
Going free flow today. How y'all doing, man?
Cool.
You doing?
Good. Yeah. So I saw y'all walking over to the Jamaican spot, and I got a Jamaican mama. So I asked her, I was like, "Is this real? Is this authentic? What did y'all think?"
I thought it was straight. Like, I actually like it. We got a spot here in Grand Rapids, but I don't get Jamaican food a lot. So I had Jamaican, like a Jamaican house lady make it. Yeah,
okay.
Hers was fire.
Right, nothing like that.
Nothing
like it from the island.
I like the jerk hut.
I'll tell you her conclusion was chicken was good, rice and peas good. That sauce was whack. I don't know if you had the sauce. Sauce ain't real.
Didn't have the sauce.
Okay, good. You straight.
Yeah.
So they get a B from my mom.
So
shout out to the Jamaican.
Better than high school right here, better than when I got in school.
So how y'all doing? Have y'all gone on yet? Because I've been in this room the whole time. So
man. But when we go on, you gotta leave this room and come join the rage, my brother. Listen, cuz you put the time out, bring the camera in there, bro. Cause listen, dog, you gonna miss a moment if you don't.
Okay. Yeah. We're doing the beat battle later today, so I should be able to escape then. But I'm glad to have y'all in here.
No doubt, bro. Yeah, bro. It's good to be back.
Yeah, this is legendary, man. Thank you.
Legendary team.
You see, I've been ironing out the wrinkles in that joint all day.
You know.
You saw it last night. It's getting better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So tell us what you've been doing, Steve.
Man, I finished an album. This album that's coming out is a beautiful thing. It's my best work yet. It's man, it's gonna go down as a classic project, man. So done it, and just dropped On Point with KB. Got the next single coming with, can't say his name yet. And then the album comes January, and then we take over the summer with the lead single after the album. And then, I'm already brainstorming and working on what's next. So, wow. I'm just hitting that consistent button. I realized God has really given me a gift, and then I found my why. And now I'm ready to take over.
So what's the why? Talk about that.
It's just, as an artist, man, like, I always kept on hearing, like, why are you doing music? Because me, growing up, like, I wanted to be in the NBA, bro. Like, my man's here seen me, bro, in a game versus these two guys not miss a shot, bro.
I'm not a hooper.
Tell the story.
Yeah, I'm not a hooper. I'm super trash, actually. So they're playing 2-on-2, and I was nervous, bro. Steven stood in the same spot for 3 games straight at the 3-point.
Top of the key.
Did not miss.
He kept checking up.
Yeah, dude wouldn't give him.
He wouldn't believe the next one's going in. I said.
3 games to 15. Yeah,
no
man.
hand. I do this. So I was dedicated. Like, that was my life, bro. I'm making it to the NBA, bro. Blood, sweat, and tears. I'm at the YMCA every day. But then, like, God came in my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Changed my life. Put music in front of me. I stayed obedient. Boom, here I am. And so it was just honestly like a path of obedience, bro. Like, honestly, like, no cliche, no nothing. It's just, how can I be obedient? Okay, God, I'm doing this music thing. I'm leading worship. Let's get it. But, like, I wanted to become an artist. Like, this is my career. Okay, God. But how can I now, like, fully become an artist? You know what I mean? And what does that involve? And one of that things involves is a why. Like, why are people going to press play when they see Stephen Malcolm? Yeah. And I wanted to capture that, bro. And it's just like, at the end of the day, like, I want to inspire people to be passionate about whatever it is that they're doing. And when people look at me, what I'm doing is I'm living my life for the Lord. Like, I'm a Christian man with a beautiful wife, amazing son, and just doing what I love for a living, and God did it. You know what I mean? And so that's just what I am, like, want to embody and give in my music. And I want everybody to be able to pick that thing up. I want the Steven who didn't know Jesus and was just hooping all 24/7 to pick up that joint and be in the locker room like, pass on point like Brady. You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I want that Christian to, you know what I'm saying, be getting ready to perform with KB and get on stage, pass on point like Brady. Yeah. And it's just full circle, bro. So that's all.
Who was that for you? Who inspired you when you were getting started?
Music?
Yeah.
Andy Mineo. Christian hip hop anyway.
Yeah. Even outside of that, like, what was that spark for you? Like, when you saw it, you were like, I could do that.
Musically? Just honestly growing up, bro, like, I would just rap, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just, I grew up in the hip hop culture, bro. It's just what we did.
So it's always been in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me, so you hinted at some stuff coming up. I want to know about future. How are you planning ahead of what people have already seen? I mean, that goes for all y'all. Like, as an artist, we haven't even seen what you're talking about now, and you're already planning past that. I know you do that constantly. What is that process like? How do you sit on content and you're like, oh man, I got this gem, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how do you sit on it? Because, like, I know for me, I'm like, I want to get that joint out. Like, what's that like, knowing that something's coming that people don't know about, and you like 10 steps ahead of that too?
Yeah, I mean, that's you can speak in it.
Well, I'm just saying, I come from the secular side of marketing. You know what I mean? So I understand record rollouts and whatnot. And as an artist, I want to get my stuff out to as many people as possible. And in today's era, it's always consistent, like you said earlier this morning, being consistent, right? Mm-hmm. But, and when you with a major, they spending $100,000, $200,000 on a record, on a single. You know what I'm saying, from the secular side. So it ain't no come out. It's, okay, we need to make sure the radio's in play. We need to make sure television is in play. So for me, having that mentality, even, my last album came out in 2017, but I wrote that album for 2 years because it was the #1 album on gospel as far as the Billboard charts. And I was taught, earlier that you got to, work the record till it can't be worked no more, and then you give them new stuff. What's happening is the consumer's being almost like spoiled with, coming out with a record every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. You don't really give the consumer a chance to buy your record because you're constantly coming out with records. So for me, I always think ahead where, okay, I got to, this is my retirement run. So I've been in the music business for almost 30 years. I'm doing an album that's got a movie attached to it that we're going to film later on. But I'm doing the Beyonce, but not with the budget. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Not with that budget, you know what I mean, at least. But that's when thinking ahead, it's like, okay, I done planned out these 3 albums. I already know, where I'm going to drop them, how I'm going to drop them, and the same with the movie, and then, retire, and become an executive for Christian hip hop and do that much. So when I'm thinking ahead, that's what I do. I go, okay, this is the plan, and then I execute the plan and don't stray from it.
Yeah.
We need more people like him, not rappers. You know?
Yeah. That's the thing is that's what I was gonna ask you next. Like, what do you think you figured out as an artist so far? Because getting started is like in your head, I assume is if I'm the best, I'm a win, right? But then I think along the way, everybody learns that there's a lot of business things involved in becoming the best, not just art. What's the biggest thing you've learned so far?
I've learned that being the best in music is subjective. You know what I mean? Like I was just maybe it was you or somebody. Like I feel like KB can rap circles around Pooh Shiesty, but bro, Pooh Shiesty one of the biggest new artists right now. You know what I mean? But somebody could be like, no, bro, that Pooh Shiesty, he talked to the hood. My cousin would say this. He talks to the hood. And Pooh Shiesty could pull up to Grand Rapids and fill out 20 Monroe Live, you know what I mean? Possibly. So, yeah, bro. Nah, I wouldn't, bro. Crazy stuff comes with that. But
So what do you think it is then? If it's not just, it's subjective, but you still built a huge audience. What did you learn along that process?
Yeah, like one thing he said too, like a lot matters. Like it's more than just music when you're entering specifically to like the industry and how branding matters. You know what I mean? And I'm still getting, my hands together with like my merchandise, you know what I mean? And having everything proper. And yeah, bro, just a lot more elements come to it when you're really trying to, legitly go and be an artist, man. A lot of little pieces. And then with songs too, like, you was talking about milk and songs, like, you seen with me with Fuego. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, bro, they still hitting me up like, hey, we've reached 7 million streams. Post about it. I'm like, no, we're not, because I'm done with that song. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, but you think, just real quick, when you think about the superstars in life, right, or the ones that we perceive to be superstars, what do they have in common? They all entrepreneurs. All of them. Like when you think of Ye, when you think of my man, even T.I., even Jay-Z, like they are entrepreneurs outside of the fact. So music is not their thing. Music helps advertise these things. And so when you come in and you have that mentality that, okay, in our case, we rock for the Lord, so we advertising God, right? And first and foremost, and then obviously the fruits come from that standpoint. And so when you come in with the mentality of advertisement, you know what I mean, then you know that you got to be prepared when you advertising.
Okay. So what's the business ventures that you all are trying to push then? What's because you said the merch.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying, with the merch, man, it's a big thing. I come, like, before music, I was working at Nordstrom for 5 years in retail, fell in love with the fashion, bro. And so then just coincidentally, my DJ just came up with just a legendary hustle, pray, eat, bro. Tell them about the hustle, pray, eat, bro. Because everybody sees it and they're coming up to me like, Steven, that's your brand. Yo, it's not my brand. My DJ is the man behind the magic, bro. Tell them about it.
Yeah, like the entrepreneurial side of being an artist is it's pretty much the backbone, because we know like the shows really ain't gonna pay like that. We know, I don't know what people getting off their CDs or their songs in Christian hip hop, but I know mainstream people complain about it. So it can't be too much, right? So there has to be a buffer, and T-shirts is it right now. We seen the God is dope. Yeah. Man, I've talked to dude, seen the numbers. He talked to me. I was like, yeah, man, it's the way to go. Yeah. Especially if you're struggling artist, you're a successful artist, no matter what you're doing. So it might not be shirts for you. It could be services, it could be whatever, but you need a side hustle to be a successful artist, or you ain't got nothing to fuel the car that's running. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, so I wanna take us into some other streams, right? So we're talking merch. My man over here is killing the placement game, right? So
Bro, Space Jam?
we know that's happening.
Space Jam?
Man, praise God.
Hey.
What's good, bro?
What's
Just
happening,
praise
man?
God.
You know what I'm saying?
You get
Praise God,
swole,
man.
more swole every time I see you, boy.
Hey, man, trying to get like you, man.
Turn up, man.
Talk about that new record with KB. You got that joint
It's
go
on point,
crazy.
man. I can't wait to do it tonight, man.
Hey, man. It's going to be crazy,
It
bro.
is, bro.
Yeah, man.
So I want to know, like, the placement game has been going crazy for you, man. So
Yeah.
like, give them some tips, man. Like, how do you get that going for your life?
Yeah, man. So it's crazy. I feel like I kind of stumbled upon it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I remember, so when I dropped Game Time, that's the record. You know what I'm saying? That everybody pretty much knows from me, or at least my break off record. You crazy. Hey,
That was you?
That's you? I thought you had dreads. You know what I'm saying? Now you look like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I stumbled into this situation where I used to play football. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, I love the feeling of getting on the field and like hearing the crowd chant, the cheerleaders, the drums, having your parents there, you in the pads and like the lights are on, your homies are bumping into you. You had the pregame meal. You ain't ever, my bad, yo. So that was the vibe. You know what I'm saying? That was the vibe. You had to lock in. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was making the song, I was like, man, I just want to convey this feeling like, yo, I'm ready for this. This is the moment. It begins now. I'm flipping the switch. You know what I'm saying? And the phrase Game Time came to mind. I released the record. I pushed it. I shot it with a local football team in Chicago, like some of the promo clips. I even dropped a music video for it, which is crazy. And I was just like, yo, because, I'm a football player. And it just started taking off, bruh. And I think we got like an email from like Fox Sports for the sync in a month. Wow. I didn't even know what a sync was. I'm like, I'm gonna be on TV, not my song. And I was just like, I'm on TV. I have a video on my phone I would never put on the light of day. I'm crying. I'm like, bro, God is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Never. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then it starts to reveal itself. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, bro.
Yeah.
And they need songs for everything. So then what I did was I made a spreadsheet, right? And I brought it to Columbia Records. So I did a single deal with them, right? I brought it to them and they freaked out. I made a spreadsheet and I wrote down every single place I wanted to see this song. Oh, wow. I said UFC, I put 2K, I put stadiums, I put the exact teams that I wanted to use it. I put the gyms that I wanted to hear it in. I'm a gym head, like y'all said.
Right.
So when I make music, I come from the perspective of what am I going to listen to? Yeah. What do I want to hear when I got to put that last rep up?
Yes, sir.
When you think about that,
yeah.
When you're making a soundtrack for somebody specifically, You're not only thinking about yourself and what you like, what's going to help somebody push? You know what I'm saying? So I started making music from that perspective, and the sync started rolling in. So, bro, take advantage of it. Like, if I have any message for any artist, like, it helped propel my career, it's helping sustain my career, and it's helping, like, reach bigger heights every time, bro. And there's a lot of people in our space, bro. A lot of people in our space are hitting the bag, bro. And it's a blessing, bro. When I open up IG or Facebook and someone's like, man, I'm on ESPN, I'm like, man, praise God, that's a couple bands. You know what I'm saying? Someone's like, man, I'm in this UFC promo clip. That's a couple bands. You know what I'm saying? You get to see each other eat. You brought up merch earlier. Sync is like merch on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Because you land 5 or 6 of these mugs, you got a yearly salary. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So this
is great insight, man. This is what people need. So we talking merch, we talking syncs. I want to look ahead. When are y'all getting into the real estate game, Bitcoin game? Like, let's talk big.
Man, hey, me and wifey, we in that transition right now where, you know what I'm saying, we about to get a house. Like, wifey, her credit A1. I gotta get there. I'm working on mine. You know what I'm saying? Saving for the down payment. So Lord willing, we'll have a crib, you know what I'm saying, within a year.
Okay.
But then as soon as we get that crib, yeah, bro, I'm diving in the real estate business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, I've been seeing it everywhere. Even I was boarding a flight and the lady in front of me, like, sorry, I was dipping on her text.
Wow.
It was like,
wow.
I don't like the sofa that they did in the condo in Florida. have them and I'm just like, yeah, she's probably has a condo in Florida. She gonna Airbnb it, and then that's gonna pay her mortgage. And yeah, like, bro, I just talked to somebody last when I was in Tampa, bro. He's like, my Airbnb pays my mortgage and the mortgage of the Airbnb. And I'm just like, bro.
No, seriously, y'all are touching on some stuff. So real estate is one. The Airbnb, those daily rentals is a whole nother thing. Yeah, like it's like 10x, the return on it. So I just want everybody to know, like, as an artist, let's move towards some big things, because I think we're at a place now where we have enough. I don't want to say clout. We have enough clout now that we can start doing some major
stuff. You talking about Christian hip hop?
Christian hip hop, as everybody.
I'm about to say stuff I'm not sure if I can say on camera. You know what I'm saying? But we have a lot more clout than y'all think.
I'm telling you, and now it's time to start really thinking big time. Like I'm seeing my man Trap Theology over here. Like there's some brands that are emerging out of this space that I believe will be unstoppable. And I think if we really corner all these different streams, because that's honestly, we're talking real now. This is what has been hard, right, for Christian hip hop. We got a dope message. People want what we have, but we can't figure out the money part, right? Because there's so many people, I've seen so many people come through this thing. They got great hearts, but they can't sustain it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we do what we do, because we're trying to give y'all platforms to help in any sort of way, that's right? Good, yeah. So I need y'all to figure out this part of it, because I know y'all hearts are good, so I don't got to worry about you guys. Figure it out so that when the next artists come through, it's not so hard to make this a thing for you. You know what I mean? So when I see you guys, I'm so proud of you guys, because you guys are figuring stuff out that now you can teach the next generation. So if y'all get to the real estate game, that's the next level. Yeah. Start owning, like creating films, that's the next level. So you could place other people in. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So that's what I'm excited for you guys, man. You guys are really getting there. And I'm talking, we started in 2006. We have come a long way, guys. You guys are so far ahead of where we were in 2006. There's more to go. There's more to go. So every time I see the placement, and every time I see the new songs, and every time I see the merch, every time I see all that stuff, I'm like, man, we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. We need you guys to win, man.
Hey, I just want to say personally, man, thank you for you guys' support all the time, bro. Trackstarz has been faithful to push us, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been pushing us. You've been posting our songs. You've been writing reviews. I see y'all in the comments. Someone comes crazy like, he doesn't sound Christian enough. You know what I'm saying? I know you or Ryan or somebody comes in clutch. You know what I'm saying?
We remember him with the dreads sitting in the studio, moving. You're about to move to Chicago.
About to move to Chicago for ministry.
And then all of a sudden it was like, God was like, boom. Boom. Yeah, and we've seen that story so many times. It's like, man. Yeah. Like, I love the fact that we've been able to have you guys, to meet you guys face to face. For sure. So that when people ask, oh, so-and-so, he ain't this, he ain't that, it's like, no. We know this guy. We know him. He's legit. And just know that you guys have a home base. Anytime you guys are struggling with something, accountability, all that stuff. You got a home base here. Guys that root for you guys, like seriously root for you guys. We do this. We've been doing this for so long, and people talk about how, we've been doing this for so long in consistency. The only reason we're doing it is because we had a vision that you guys would exist. And now it's happening. And I want the next generation to see it happen so that they know that they can even go past y'all. And that's why we do this, man. So just know every time we see the updates, man, we are like, yes. Yes. So this is home base for anybody who wants it.
For sure.
Turn up. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Bless. Bless up.
Appreciate you, my bro.
Yeah, sure.
Excited. And pray for Ryan. Ryan is in the hotel with migraines right now, so he should be here too. But he is diehard for you guys. He's been working so hard to make this happen. Yeah. The beat battle and all that kind of stuff. He's been working so hard, and it caught up to him. So pray for Ryan. But let's do this. Let's take a break real quick. We coming back. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. All right, we are back. We got Plain James in the building. How you doing, sir?
What's good, man?
Good. Yeah, man. So, Trap Theology.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite shirts, man. I'll be honest with you.
Dope.
I love wearing that. Everybody asks me, what Trap Theology? It's such a catcher, man. So how's everything been going with you?
Man, it's been a blessing, man. I had a daughter, man. She's 1 now, so just doing the family thing, ministry. I've been blessed, man. I've been touring with my dude 5 for the last few years.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 tours a year, man. And lately, man, God has really been giving me a renewed passion for urban apologetics.
Yeah.
So, man, I've been diving into that a lot more in the ministry aspects. Just kind of, I've been doing music here for a while now. And as you get up, you start doing it for a while, you start thinking, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
So I don't want to wait till I'm in that position where it's like, scrambling. So I've just been praying, man, seeking direction on that, and really just have a passion for speaking and ministering and apologetics and things. So that's kind of where I'm going toward.
Okay, so talk a little bit about that, because speaking. So what do you see yourself doing? I want to get the picture in my head.
I've been blessed lately, man. I do like these videos in the morning online or whatnot, just encouragement videos. I talk about different topics that may be relevant on social media, from sneaky links to just demon time stuff or whatnot. And I speak about these things, and I've been blessed to get a few speaking engagements. So doing that, and I've been a licensed minister for a while as well in my church. So just speaking and doing that. Just want to really approach the culture, man, in a way that they can understand it. 'Cause I think a lot of times people stray away from the church because, for one, they don't read their Bibles. They're not really hip on the doctrine and different things of Christianity. It just seems overwhelming at times. So I try to stay in touch with the culture and deliver the gospel in a way that's relative and understandable without compromising the integrity of it. So I kind of want to go more in that field. Serving a lot with Scott and the City Takers, we in the trenches for real.
Course,
so, man. So you get to see a lot of things going on from this Hebrew Israelite movement, the Kemet movement, black nationalists, different things or different doctrines or beliefs that are coming against Christianity.
Yeah.
And seeing my own friends believe in this stuff, and it's like, for me to be a devoted follower of Christ, it's kind of hard for me to sit there and watch these things happen and not take an active role in trying to combat it,
That's good.
Not to belittle anyone, but to show love and win souls, and
That's awesome. Yeah. So what I'm gearing up for is, when is the book coming? You know the book got to come out, man.
Man, that's funny you said. That's confirmation for me, man, because I talk to Kelly Cole, of course, all the time.
Of course, yeah.
And a few other people, man, and they're saying you need to put together this book, man, kind of like a trap Bible or kind of type, type thing, So I've been thinking about it, praying about it, because if I do it, I want to do it correctly. And I actually started getting some information together on how I want to do different things, man. So definitely, I would say, man, within the next year or two, if I do it correctly, man, I want to start rolling out and doing some things.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Welcome. Introduce
Hello.
yourself. How you doing?
Hi, I'm Maddie Ray. It's always great being here with the Trackstarz family, and so glad to be a part of this. But I'm a Christian recording artist. I do Christian pop and hip hop music, and then I also travel speaking and preaching, and then I create a lot of resources and write books for young people to really just help them live the life that God created them to live.
Absolutely. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
So I want to keep the conversation going, because there's a lot of artists watching. So let's keep giving them some good advice. So I want to ask you, because when was the last time we saw you?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So talk about what's happening since then, right? Because I remember I think we were in the same room. It was a different configuration, but what have you been doing since that day?
What have I been doing since then? It has definitely been a journey. The past 3 years have been a lot, from that moment I was here at FlavorFest to everything after that. I think, when I was out here, I had just released a single with Stephen Malcolm, and he was featured on it. And there was a lot of buzz with that, and a lot of things started happening. A lot of doors started opening, and was just going around a lot. But I think during that time, as an artist, and as you said, there's artists watching, I think I really had to evaluate in that time when doors start opening, when opportunities start coming, is, God, what have you really called me to do? What is really the vision that you have given me? What is really, what is the lane that you want me me to be in, because I think as an artist, you know, we work so hard for these doors to open and for opportunities to come, but at the same time, there's the will of God and the purpose that he has for you and what he's called you to. And not every door is a door that you need to walk through, you know, and you have to discern that. And so I think the past 3 years has definitely been that, of just having to discern that. And what I've come to find within those 3 years was that God was not only calling me just to do Christian music and, you know, pop and hip hop and perform and tour and do that, but to also travel as a minister of the gospel and preach as an evangelist and really do more of that. You know, I grew up in the church. I'm a pastor's kid, so I've grown up in ministry. I'm also the youth pastor at our church, and so God wanted me to use more of that preaching to kind of come alongside the music that opens the door to people and really kind of invites them in, but then really come with that strong word that he's given me. And then along with that, I've been creating a lot of resources, putting a lot of merch together, writing books, because I love not only just telling people when I preach of, hey, you need to live your life for Christ, and you know, you need to do this for God, but then people leave from that and go, okay, what are the next steps? How do I walk that out every day? How do I do that practically? How do I actually apply this to different situations in my life? And so that's why I've written the books that I have. And so that's what the past 3 years have been. I think God has really defined for me, which I'm grateful for, what he's called me to and who he's called me to. And so it's been a really great journey from the last time I was here with y'all to now where we're at today.
Go back and look at our old Maddie Ray interview and listen to her now. Like
I sound different. I listened
like,
to it too recently.
You sound like an ambassador of something. Like
I am of the kingdom of God.
That's amazing. Okay. So give us a taste of like when you go and preach. What is your main message? Like I feel like you're giving us a taste of it. But what is the thing that drives you when you're up on stage?
I think the theme, kind of like I've said, is helping young people live the life that God created for them to live. Because I think, I'll say it like this, I think a lot of times we wind up living the life that we kind of default into living because of our circumstances, because of how we've grown up, because of the things that we've faced. We live a life of, this is just what life has become for me. And I think I love to tell young people of, this is the life that God created for you to live. This is what God intended for you, you know, to have within your life. And so that message can be shared in different ways, whether it's in a room with, you know, church kids that sometimes get overlooked, and preaching the message that I have called dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of your life. Don't leave the church. Don't walk away from God. Don't abandon your faith, but stay. Or it's a message of, hey, live a life that's on fire, where you're completely consumed by God, and you live a life that's dedicated and consecrated to him, a life of purity. And so it can be said in different ways, but the core of it is really just this life that God has for us versus this life that we've either defaulted to living or we've been influenced by the world to live a different life that it's kind of influenced us to live.
Okay, I need a book from you too. Clearly,
Amen.
We got the authors here, obviously.
Awesome.
No, you guys sound amazing, and I've been so impressed with you over the years, bro.
Man, praise
Like, we talk about how some of the younger generation, I'm nervous for them because their character isn't where I would want it to be all the time.
Right.
But you, over the years, man, you have just displayed, like, even when nobody's watching, you just display this character, man, that's just impeccable.
Man,
and I just want to make sure people know that about you, man. Like, there's a lot of people that they do this, and I could tell it's more because they want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? They want the limelight. But Plain, man, you've been consistent, bro.
Man,
you've been consistent. So I just want everybody watching, man, go follow what this man is doing. He is the real deal.
Man, praise God, bro. I appreciate that, man. And I definitely appreciate the support you guys have given from the beginning, man. It's like anytime I'm doing anything, man, whether it's shirts or was it music or even the videos online, you guys always share and show support, man. So I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for your dedication, your consistency, the impact you guys have had on the culture, man. It's just, even things like this, man, we can't take these things for granted because you're giving people a platform to share what it is God is having them to do. And taking time out of y'all schedules, away from y'all family to do these things, man. So we appreciate you guys, man. So,
yeah, man.
Definitely.
Okay, I saw a double sneak in. You can't do that, sir. You come on, bro. No, this is family. This is family. Come on, bro. Tell him to get over here, man.
I will, man. Pull up,
I want to
man.
make sure my brother gets some food.
No, this is family reunion, bro. Double ATL. How are you doing, sir?
Blessed and highly favored. Is that the answer? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Yeah. Blessed and highly favored.
How you doing, man?
No, I'm good, man.
So y'all came down from Atlanta.
Yes. Yep.
So what have you been working? Because I don't know, I think people know how far we go back. Like
man, we go way back.
Back like 2003 or something like that. So what have you been working on recently?
You know, I had took some time during the pandemic, just like I'm sure a lot of people have, to just, you know, spend time with family, just make sure my house was good, and just really just take that pause and that reset.
Yeah.
And so now I put a few rec singles out this year just to kind of get stuff going, but I do got stuff on the way. I can't say, but like when it comes, you'll know.
You know what's interesting? Before I had my daughter, I used to watch how you were with your family as an example.
Yeah.
And I remember when I had my daughter, it was 2 years ago. This was after we. So I just remember some of the things you used to say about, I got to go find my wife, and, you know, like all those things about how to balance family. I learned from you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And that's like a lifetime thing. Like finding balance that's something you do every day, because you have to be intentional on doing that. You can't just like, oh, okay, we cool, we got it. Because as soon as we think we got it, is when we find out we don't really have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff starts to, you know, I had a friend of mine call me one day. He was like, man, how's everything going? And I'm like, man, everything's great. And that scared me. Because I'm like, man, if everything's great, I have to be watching, because something is coming, right? Some type of attack or something, or, you know, I'm ignoring something because we should always be working. But, you know, just a quick story like of that, right? The fruit of that. So Thursday before we left out here, I have 2 daughters, 10 and 7, and so they put together this Bible study. My kids did, and you know, and it's crazy because I'm not gonna say that I walk around doing Bible studies around the house all the time. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, dad is doing Bible studies. We're going to do the same. No, they created this Bible study through Google Slides, and they had all of us in the house on Zoom in different parts of the house. And they had like this great, like on the laptop I'm looking, my 10-year-old created a slide that was like, feel free to worship before Bible study starts, and it was like a Maverick City song was playing.
That's beautiful.
Right? And they're both leading. They were talking about the difference between being rich and kindness, love, God, and money. And it's like my 10 and 7-year-old had scriptures on the screen, and that's just an example of that. I would hope that at the end of the day I had anything to do with that. but yeah, so that's the balance, and that's what you want to see from that, because at the end of the day, like, okay, I got stuff on the way, like I said, but that's where I get it.
Well, I think the one thing I saw from you, man, is having daughters be able to see their dad be dedicated to God beyond just the Sunday morning. Like, you've been obviously committed for a super long time, and there's so many people. I'll just tell my story about my dad. My dad was like an evangelist. Every time I saw him, he was ministering to somebody, trying to teach them about God. The Jehovah's Witness used to come over. He'd be like, all right, sit down, let's talk. You know what I mean? Like that was my dad. So seeing a man live out his passion for God just beyond just going to church and then come home and doing whatever is such a great example for a young kid. And seeing you do that, man, it just showed me what I needed to do.
Man, that's encouraging to hear, man.
No, seriously.
That's encouraging to hear. Thank you. Because everybody, you know, we always just care about, not us, but I'm saying in these settings, it's all about what you got going on, the music you got, who you sign. I don't even like to talk about that stuff. Yeah. Just hearing that, man, that's thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Listen, I got a 1-year-old daughter, and I see the way he operates with his daughters and whatnot. And I'm already asking him questions like, hey, bro, so she walking around now, time is happening so fast. I'm like, I want to be on the front end, because you're trying to do this. A lot of times in our culture, unfortunately, we're trying to be something that you might not have seen.
Yeah, that's my story. I ain't see it.
I don't want to be there to screw up. Man, I didn't do this and do that. Like, nah, man, I want to be an excellent father. I want to be an excellent husband. I want to make sure I'm on the front end of that.
So I want to hear from you guys. So far, because you've been here both days so far, right? What have you heard in a breakout session or a main stage that's kind of resonated with you so far at FlavorFest?
I think I heard as I was walking in, I think it was Eric Mason that was ministering. He was preaching today, and it was so good. And there were a couple things that he shared that I thought this is what it was when I was walking in. He was talking about how so many, I think it was along the lines of just how much is happening culturally, just with different trends, just with different things that are there, and how the enemy is almost progressively, really just influencing us and getting us to, see these other things that are there and really get deceived. And I think what I took away from it was you see things today like what's called progressive Christianity and things like that. And it's like, today, is it really Christians that are progressively getting deceived by the enemy with these cultural trends and things that are out there where Christians think that they're evolving or we're becoming more relevant, but really you're just getting that much more deceived, and it's coming against what the Word of God says. And so I love that you even brought up, just about character and integrity today, with artists and with ministers. I think that's so important with the time that we're living in, is to have that character, have that integrity, have those standards, of what the Word of God says, to understand what the Word says, to know the Bible, because if we don't know the Word of God, we're going to get deceived, and we're going to think we're going with everyone else of like, oh yeah, we're relevant. Oh yeah, we're progressing, but it's like that progressiveness that you think you have is really this deception where you're coming away from God's intention of what we're called to do here on the earth. And so I love that he brought that up, especially in an environment like FlavorFest, where it is artists, it's pastors, and we have to be aware of that because God is using us to be the voices, to be the mouthpieces, to speak to people. And if we're deceived, we're going to be deceiving everyone else because we're, entrapped by all of that other stuff. And so it's important for us to stay in the Word. For artists that are listening now, get in the Word of God more than ever before, so that we are not deceived in these times and not thinking that, I'm just going with the trends, I'm just being relevant. But even if it doesn't feel relevant, we have to stick to what God's Word says.
Wow, that's really hard what you're saying, because I've seen things change over the years. You guys have been around with me, so you've seen kind of like the change in artists over the years, and you can see when trends come and go. I think my mom was here with me yesterday, and she was noticing how, like, when we were growing up, all the guys had super baggy pants, right? Now everybody got these skinny jeans, right? So you can see that trends happen, trends come and go. Mm-hmm. How are you supposed to know? Because if I'm looking at my Bible, it's telling me some things. I have to garner some things from a culture that's not like mine very much at all, right? Mm-hmm. So when I think of preachers have this responsibility of translating that to how does that apply to today. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're all translating it well, right?
Right.
What's the message? How do you look at this Bible and then say, okay, with no cell phones, sandals, like, how do you translate that to what's happening in hip hop and the culture we have right now, but keep the heart of what's supposed to happen and not let you get taken away by what you're talking about? Yeah. How do you decipher what's real and what's not?
It's important too. I think it was important what Eric Mason said, Pastor Eric Mason. You have to earn the right to approach people and talk to people a certain way. So I think the first thing, even though you have the truth, you can't be so abrasive and come across arrogant and rude and prideful as if we have this and you don't have this and you're just this terrible person. I think you have to engage the culture. Like, if you're hungry, I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna try to meet practical needs and earn the right to even get your audience, And then once you see that I care about you as an individual, then when I want to talk to you, you're more willing to hear what I have to say. Mm-hmm. And it's also, I respect you. I respect that you have the right to disagree. I respect the fact you have the right to live differently. But I'm on my assignment to share with you what I have in love. And I think some of the things that can be discouraging at times is you want so bad for people to receive everything that you have to say. But sometimes your assignment is just to plant or to water. God has to provide the increase. And I think we want to see transformation so bad sometimes we'll go too far. We'll start saying things beyond what God told us to say, to the point now the flesh is involved because I want to get credit for something that God's supposed to be doing. So I think like you can say, like, social media, like I can sit back and say all this social media stuff is the devil, this and that, but your kids are on it. Your kids are on TikTok, they on Instagram, they on Snapchat. So I have to find a way to embrace the culture without compromising the integrity of the gospel. So I'm saying, okay, if this was going on, that's what all I've been doing lately. I've been looking and seeing different things that are popular, whether it's be the sneaky link or whether it's people saying they on demon time. And I just take basic fundamental principles and explain, well, when you're saying you're a demon, a demon is a foot soldier of Satan. Yeah. And demons are going to be placed in a lake of fire with Satan. So do you really want that for your life? Do you really want the consequences to come along with that? It's a time and place for everything. You don't have to go into a deep theological or exegete the text, you know what I'm saying, on a 60-second video. It's like, let me give you something that you can understand that'll intrigue you. And as we grow, they grow with us. And they see like, man, this dude really cares about us. This person really cares about me. I was hungry and they fed me. The things that Jesus is asking us to do. Right. So I think, in essence, don't take the weight on your shoulders completely that I have to be the one that has to change the world. Be obedient to the assignment that God gave you, and everybody takes that approach, we'll get a lot more done. You know.
So Double, what's the biggest thing you've noticed from early 2000s to now in Christian hip hop? What are you seeing different in the artists? And do you see some of what she's saying, like it's kind of like a drift away from biblical?
Okay, so coming from around the time when I jumped in, like 03, 04, it was like it was everything was regional. So what we were doing in the South was different what guys were doing in the North. It's different than what guys were doing on the West. And there was no social media to figure out what everybody was doing. So we were all just doing our own different things in our regions. Yeah. Then it became a little bit more popular. We'd be able to figure out what everybody was doing. Then legalism stepped in because people were over here not agreeing with what we were doing over here, which was not agreeing with doing over there. So it's like everybody was against each other because of all this legalism. So then it stifled creativity because then everybody started trying to satisfy that instead of staying in their own lane, right? So now that legalism is not as much of a thing anymore, now these young guys, they're just free to be as creative as they want to be, but because there's no because the OGs are still trying to be the young guys. There's no more discipleship, and there's nobody checking nobody. Ain't nobody like, hey, bro, let me holler at you.
That's right.
Because what you're doing right now is wild. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can be as creative as you want to be. You can be as mainstream as you want to be, but there's no discipleship to go. You're not supposed to walk that way.
But why is that so hard? Like when we were growing up, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. When people had, somebody was doing something wrong, it was easy to be like, hey, bro, you good? Yeah. You good? Yeah. I feel like people are afraid to do that now. Yeah. What do you think that is?
I think the younger generation these days, they have access to a lot more material, a lot more information. They ask a lot more questions. So I think in the past, the respect that we had, like, if your mama said, sit down, and you be like, why? Because I said so. That was enough at that time. Yeah. But now when they say, well, I don't want to do this, they're like, why? You can't just say that anymore. You have to be able to give an intelligent response. Yeah. And I think a lot of us are not really willing to invest into the lives of others in order to the point we can give them an intelligent response or give them answers or be consistent in their lives. I think what Eric Mason was saying, we do a drive-by ministry. Like we want to drive by and just boom, give you the word that I'm going about my business. Yeah. But discipleship is an investment. Discipleship costs you.
You got to live right.
So when I'm in the industry and you got, like he was saying, we got the older guys trying to compete with the younger guys. Instead of doing what you were saying earlier is, this is what I experienced. You guys are coming up after us. I want you to have a better experience than what I had. I want you to go farther than what I had. There's no legacy. You know what I'm saying? There's no promotion of that. Mm-hmm. So when everybody's thinking about themselves, you're not going to think about discipling anybody because you look at this person as your adversary. Yeah.
Well, there's a little bit that's happening, but there is a little bit of something else happening too. There's a bit of a don't tell me anything about what I'm doing mentality happening right now. Yes, I'm doing me. Yes. I'm a, I don't want to call people out, but I'm a cuss, drink, have sex, whatever I want to do, right? Yeah. I love Jesus, leave me alone.
Right.
Absolutely.
How do we get through that? Because it almost feels like if I were to come on, I've been saying it more recently, but if I were to come on the show and say, hey y'all, why are we doing this? Why am I hearing way more, ends this and be this in these songs? Why is that happening? I feel like people are gonna be like, you can't tell us what to do. How do we get through that?
I think and y'all know me. I brought by people, right? I remember bringing RG by the show. Yeah. Nobody knew who Lil Bro was. Like I just brought him to the show with me one day. Now all of a sudden, like, this guy is getting followed by Kanye West. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like how I was with Few, or how I've been with George Rose, who's on his way up. I was the one. I brought him to Atlanta, like introducing everybody. So. Because I know I have that because I know I do have that relationship with them, I just focus on making sure that I'm just being patient, with them. Like, because I know I'm in that position to be big bro, OG, and I know I'm seeing stuff, and they probably don't respond to my messages as quick as they used to. And I'm not singling anybody out saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody who's cracking out, they all rolling together. So it's like if it's a group of 10 young guys who's doing their thing and they out there and they on tour sharing the gospel,
and they
also smoking weed and doing all this other stuff at the same time, but they all together. If I come in as the OG, it's gonna be like, yo, you can't you can't, or now I look lame. So what I have to do is make sure I'm still cultivating relationships one on one. So it's like, if y'all are acting out, doing whatever, stuff we don't agree with or stuff that the word doesn't agree with. Yeah. For most importantly, I have to make sure that I had a relationship with them. Like, I'm hitting them up on the side, like, hey, bro, you could do better, or you need to,
Well, let's help them, because I think some of the pushback I've been hearing is, what's wrong with those things? Yeah. Right. And for us, like you said, it was, don't do it. That's enough. All right, cool. Don't have sex. All right, got it. Or I ain't got it, but I know it's wrong. You know what I mean? Right. But now they're almost challenging even the notion of don't smoke, don't drink, don't curse, don't have sex before marriage. Like, those were foundational for us. But they're saying, what is wrong with those things? Right. There's, like, for a lot of people, there's nothing that explicitly tells them in the Bible, you can't do those things, right? Right. So let's figure out how to explain, if you agree. I mean, maybe you don't. Why why shouldn't they be doing those
That's
things?
the biggest part.
I think, too.
That's the biggest part.
The hindrance of that is they're achieving success being led by God. Yeah. Even though they feel like they're doing this, they feel like God is behind what they're doing. So where we'll put something out, and we have a core of people who follow what we do and support what we do. A young person to put something out on SoundCloud or TikTok or whatever, and it'll go viral. So now they're looking at the numbers that they have. And they're saying, why would I have these numbers to be this successful in doing Christian music if God isn't behind it?
Yeah. So I think that's why it's important what he's saying with the why.
Yeah, right? It's the why, because it's not enough to just be like, y'all can't be doing this.
So the why is like why? It's like, you got to look at, okay, like I try to be plain. You doing a lot of drinking. Okay, when you get under the influence of alcohol, what are the things that you want to do? Are those things lining up with what the scripture says? Mm-hmm. When you get high and you smoke weed, you may say it not make you want to go out here and do different things, but this makes you lazy. What does the Bible say about the sloth? Or you want to eat a lot. What does the Bible say about the glutton? So it doesn't necessarily say per se don't smoke weed, but what are the effects of the things you're doing? So that's what we have to do, show the effects. And also say, hey, look, I'm not coming to you as a hater, or I'm not coming as you as somebody who's just trying to harp down on you. I want to see you succeed, and these are stumbling blocks of things that we've seen in the past that have hurt other people. Now the choice, I lay before you, this choice to this choice. And I think it's like I was saying earlier, it's hard to watch sometimes, but all you can really do is plant a seed and tell them. And it's like, when you have this generation, man, I've seen where a kid or a young person to be at the club and their parents are at the same club they're at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have a broken home where the father figure is not at home, or the mother is working so much that she's not able to be there with the child. Yeah. Or whatever the family dynamic is, where it's a broken family. So now, when you don't have that relationship with your parent, and here I am coming to talk to you, some people are going to embrace that and appreciate it, but some people are going to be like, man, my own mom, my own dad don't even tell me what to do, so who are you? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different dynamics. You can even go to the way the Bible is being taught. I think we're in an extremist culture. We have people who are extreme when it comes to their liberties. We have people who are extremely legalistic. Yeah. It's a lack of balance, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to those things. Like, you can enjoy certain things in Christ, but all things are lawful, but not all things are beneficial. So
you got C-Micah here as well. So I'm going to put it to you like this. We got the police at the door. I'm going to put it to you like this. Are we wrong? Did we go too hard on some of these things? You remember the destinations rules, right? Like, everything I just said was straight out like you can't do this, right? If we catch you, you got 24 hours, right? Right. So were we too hard on that stuff? Are they right that we were too legalistic with some of those rules when we were coming up? What's the balance with that, and how would you tell them your point of view on it?
I really think what Plain said was very good. The key word is balance, right? So when these guys was coming up, and back in the days, like, it was so strict. And like you were saying earlier, with so many different lanes in Christian hip hop, it's like either you this or you that.
Yeah.
And for me personally, as someone that was watching and doing a little rapping, it was like very off-putting to me. You know, I would just come just sit in the corner and watch. Cause it's like, yo, why I have to be this?
Yeah.
Why I have to be that? You know, I go to church and there's a whole lot going on. You know, and I think one of the problems now is like a lot of guys not going to church at all. They don't have pastors.
They don't have covering.
They don't have no type of covering, man, and that's why it's so rebellious. It's like you were just saying, if they don't have a father figure, and the pastor is the father figure as well. If they don't have that, then when somebody comes in and be like, yo, let me give you this advice. Who is you, dog? You know what I'm saying? Or if you're not, you know, because everything is so important of sales right now or streams. Yeah. So if you ain't got 100,000 streams, but they do, how can you tell me something?
Yeah, you can't tell me nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'll just tell you, I don't know where we're going to land on all this stuff because it is a little bit more difficult to just say, you know, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do this because there's a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of OGs do.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people that and don't see anything wrong with it, which is cool. I'll just tell you from the perspective of my OG, my mama. Her view is that she's noticing that a lot of people feel very double-minded.
Yeah.
Where you look like you're doing one thing when you're on stage, but then you seem like the people you're trying to reach when you're off stage. So what's the point?
Yeah.
What should we stop pretending
I agree
to
with
be
that. I
the
agree
super
with that.
Christian, or should we stop acting ratchet when we leave the stage, or is it like what are we doing?
Well, I mean, you know, we should be set apart, right? Like it shouldn't look like it's hip hop, right? So like we were saying earlier, as far as like with the generation of when the Bible was written versus what things look like right now, but in music we sample, right? So hip hop wouldn't be what it would be if we weren't able to sample old records, right? So yes, like we should be sampling what the word says more than making it look like what the mainstream does. So it's like I'll see like whatever, like if Migos is doing something, that's now all of a sudden that's what you see happening in Christian hip hop. Or if Jack Harlow sounds like this, now all of a sudden every white rapper in Christian hip hop has to sound like Jack Harlow. I'm just saying, we gotta, if we being honest about it. So what we want to do is emulate the world instead of sampling the word. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna look like it, right? We're gonna look like hip hop. I mean, I'm you know, I have like 3 chains on right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to look like what we see because we like it. Yeah, you're going to. But what comes out, like the fruit of it, should look like what that word say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the point you were making, what Jamal was saying, though, is just that. I think, like, when I came into Christian hip-hop and, you know, I was around different guys, it was a certain persona that you had to do Christian hip-hop. You had to almost be like, I'm this super holy guy. Because Christian hip-hop in its nature was, we do this, we don't do that. We do this, we don't do that, as if y'all had no flaw on the track because we're promoting this at youth groups and churches. We want to encourage the kids. I think it was a lack of transparency. It was a lack of, yes, I'm saved, I believe in Jesus, but I do struggle with this at times, and I do need accountability for this. So I think the younger guys are looking like, man, I'm going through depression. I'm going through anxiety. Smoking this weed helps me. Having a drink takes the edge off. And I can't come to you because you like boom, 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 boom. So you making me feel like you don't really understand where I'm at. So the only person that seems to understand me are my homeboys. We the same age going through the same thing. So we're going to come together and feel like parents just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You know, so older guys just don't understand. And I think it takes honesty. I think it takes, like I was saying, transparency. You'd be like, hey, yeah, when I'm at home with my wife, I might have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might do this. But at the same time, though, like we keep saying, it got to be a balance and it got to be an understanding that when you're out here, like, you're a representation of not just yourself, you're a representation of the gospel, you're a representation of God. And there's certain things that come along with that, whether you want to be or not. Like when Charles Barkley came out and said, I'm not a role model, I'm not paid to be a role model. I respect you saying that. But at the same time, though, you're in the NBA, you're a famous superstar, you're on TV, and whether you want to be or not, you're somebody's favorite player. Somebody wants to pattern their game after you. People see the way you speak and articulate yourself and say, hey, I want to be able to do that because you're in a public platform. If you don't want people to watch what you're doing and say anything about it, don't be on a public platform.
Right, yeah.
And that just comes along with it.
This is what I see. The old generation taught us how to pretend.
Right.
They taught us how to hide our flaws. I remember being on that same Destinations team, struggling with something, and being like, I can't tell Damien.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna get kicked off and banished, all kind of stuff. So you're taught to fake it, which is not good.
Right.
Because a lot of the people I remember, as soon as they stepped off stage and they were in a private environment, they didn't act nothing like they did when they were.
Right.
So to me, it's like, oh, okay. The lesson that I believe these kids learned is, oh, this is not real.
Yeah.
This is the part of the performance is I don't do nothing wrong, right? What I'm seeing in them is they decided I'm not even gonna pretend. I'm gonna just show you.
Right.
This is what I do. I think where we need to get to is stop pretending, but seek to be who God really wants you to be on your own first. Not as a performance for a leader or for Trackstarz or for, you know what I'm saying? Both of those have always been wrong. But because we don't all agree on what's the wrong things, it's going to be hard for us to come together on it. But as long as everybody is actually trying to seek after what God wants them to do, and we have a rapport that says you may not exactly agree with me, but I know you're serious about Jesus, and I'm working with you no matter what. I think that's when we'll win.
Absolutely.
And we got a young guy. Hey, Breeze, you just come. I don't mind. I'm not trying to take over your show. Sean.
No, you good, man. This is family.
Let me just come kind of just answer a question real quick, right? Yeah. Because this big Breeze and this brother right here, I know personally, and I know him as somebody who cares about his walk, right?
Yeah.
Who cares about his walk. And he also cares about his brother's walk.
Yeah.
He care about the artists that he run with, how they walk and how they exemplify themselves as far as the word. So what we talking about right now is like how basically like when we see the stuff that the young guys are doing that we don't agree with, or that not us, but what the word doesn't agree with, how do we approach that? How do we as like OGs go and be like, this is because when we were growing up, it was all legalism. It was you can't do this and you can't do that. But now it's like that's no longer. But now everybody's free to do everything. Right. So how do we approach y'all? The ones on the come up. Right. So how do we approach the things that we see as far as like being OGs, going like not being like parents, but being like, hey man,
I feel like it first started with like you got to build that relationship. Like when you start building a relationship with us, like we got a great relationship. So it's like whenever you call, it's already like I'm kicked in. Like I know he gonna give me some real knowledge I can use in the world. So I feel like it'd be a lot of, they don't build relationship. It's just automatically coming at them, and that's not the right approach, especially for our generation, because like it's already a lot of animosity. I don't know why we like that. It's just already like that. So I feel like just that relationship. You building that relationship, even if it's just like what's up here and there, how it's going, and then over time, then you just start throwing little jewels in like this. You should move like this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do like this. Go back and tell your homeboys woo. And I feel like we'll take it way better than just somebody coming directly. And you don't know me, you just come straight at me like that. So
yeah, this was good. I think we get into something, man, because I think just from what I've been hearing, there's a lot of the OGs that are worried.
Yeah.
That there's kind of like a lawlessness almost kind of emerging, where you guys are super talented, y'all are winning, but it doesn't seem like there's discipleship happening. Gotcha. So what's your response to that? What have you been noticing? Should we be like, just tell me, Sean, don't worry, we good.
Right.
Can you tell me that?
I want to say yeah, but then again, you can't, because it's like people gonna follow.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the biggest things. Like people might see what I'm doing, like I want to be like that, but they don't understand I got the Christ with me when I'm doing it. Like everything is Christ led. I'm listening to Him before I do it. I ain't just doing it then listening to Him. So I can't say yeah. I can't say yeah. Like,
no, I think you gave me good advice in coming at people directly doesn't work anymore. It used to be fine for us. Like you come at yo playing. That's wrong, bro. Right. Don't do that. Right. Like okay, right. That don't seem to be working.
Cause you got to think like they like, man, what he talking? He don't know what he talking about. Like he not living what we going through. Like,
yeah. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So your advice is live life, drop gems. Okay, all right, I'm gonna write that down. All right, cool. So Big Breeze,
what's happening?
Talk to him. Jeremiah's excited you hear him, man.
I'm excited y'all here. Like I kept just looking like, dang. Everybody just looking. I'm like, that's them. That's them. So I'm excited.
Talk to him, man. Tell them about, I don't. We haven't had you on, so tell them about who you are. They've seen you in Life Line and all that, but talk to them.
Man, I'm Big Breeze. Man. I'm from Atlanta, the west side of Atlanta. Like, I'm just enjoying my walk, having fun in Christ, going crazy in the music. God been providing unbelievably, like, seriously, like, that's me, all right?
You look so excited.
Right, Vert Mob, got my brother Scooty here, but he ain't here with me right now, but he in the city, so, yeah, we just having fun, man.
So talk to him about, like, what got you into what you're doing now? Like, what was the entry point?
What was the issue? It was just something different. Like I was like, man, I got to try something different because it's like I stopped living the life that I was rapping about, so I couldn't keep rapping that. And I started serving Christ, but I was just like, man, I gotta be different, like, cause I know everybody like it was corny, this and that, but I feel like if I put my own little twist and flavor on it, it can pop, man. I seen it like that, so I was like, I just took that advantage and just came in the lane. Start doing what I do.
So talk about, like, even before that, like what brought you to Christ? Like talk about that story.
Just wanted something different, like, the typical story, just growing up in the trenches, not giving really nothing. Had to make a way out of nothing. Single parent in the home, had a big brother, but he was doing his own thing, so I was alone. So, when you're alone, you just start getting to this and that, start getting in trouble. Dropped out of school, but I went back and graduated.
Oh, there you go.
I used to trap, but that wasn't for me. So, and then one day, it was like a lot of stuff going on in life, like, and sometimes you either crash out or you just keep pushing forward. And I just started walking to church. Like, it was a church up the street. I didn't even know. I just walked up there. Just sat in there, you sit in the back. Like, I don't want nobody to see me in here, but I'm going to just see what they talk about, you feel me? But what was crazy, what really brought me, I feel like, when I seen my plug in there, and I was just like, whoa, like, you doing this, but you in here, so it got to be something good in here, like. And then my little brother, one of my little bros from school, we just started clicking. They like, man, you should come to this church. And I went to this church, another church, and the pastor, like, clicked. Like, we built a relationship. And that just made me want to come more and more, just to, like, hear what he got to say. That's why I say that relationship's so important.
Yeah.
When it's like that OG to that youngin', like, that's very important. So that's kind of what led my way to the church. So
that's awesome, man. That's great to hear, man. I'm taking in what you're saying. Like, I think you're unlocking the key for me on how this is supposed to go. And I'm encouraged because, like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing.
Appreciate that.
Like I said, Jeremiah's excited to see you, man. He's not here, but he's watching.
Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? Was saying
he's a big fan of yours, man. So I'm excited what you're doing. Please keep communicating with me because we want to make sure you guys are good.
Right.
You know what I mean? This, like, the criticism or whatever you're hearing is not because we're trying to just dog y'all. We want y'all to win, like, sincerely win. And I remember telling, I think it was Bats, he was on the show, and I was like, I honestly, and this, don't take this wrong, I honestly don't care if y'all succeed in music.
Right, facts.
I want y'all to be good men. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, because I've seen too many men throughout my life where they're double-minded. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be the Christian guy on Sunday, but then they wild the rest of the week.
Monday through Saturday.
And I want people who are legit. Even if they don't get all the big success, I want you to have it. Kind of, but I want you to have it. But what I really want you to be is somebody could say, "Yo, that's a real dude."
Right. And that's why, like, I respect my brothers, like Vert Mob. I feel like we different in a lot because it's like the music water. Like, we all tell each other that. Like, we'll be on the phone. Like, we don't stop from making a project. Like, nah, everybody heart got to get right before we continue to push forward for this project because the music water, but the purpose is the whole key to the whole situation. And we can't move forward if we don't got the purpose. That's just how it is.
Protect it with everything you have. I'm telling you, protect it. Like if it wasn't for our guys, Rick and Jeremiah and Ryan, we fought to protect our hearts. Like there's times we could have lashed out at people or gotten back at people or somebody said something about it, and I'm like, hey, I don't care about that. Right. We are going to be. We're the good guys. Yeah. Nobody's going to pull us out of being the good guy. Even if we don't get the opportunity, even if somebody steps on us, don't lose it. Right. Because you'll look back 10 years from now, you may not be where you could have gotten or whatever, but you're going to be proud of where God took you. And that's what I want you guys to feel when you're done. You know what I mean?
Nah, facts. Yeah. I always keep that mentality.
That's good. Yo, Jeremiah, I want to give Double another shout out. He said, Double is low key the best A&R in Atlanta.
Most definitely.
That's real. Right. Yeah. Almost everybody I've seen blow up that's been in our studio, Double brought them to the studio. Right. So I want to give you your flowers on that too, man. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you scouting or whatever, but you definitely finding some heat.
Hey, I need these guys to start signing some contracts.
You need to get some ink.
I need to get some ink, some Nah, but it's really like what we was talking about is that. It's just me like that wanting to build relationships with these guys so that they always have somebody. They always got an OG around them. They always got a team of OGs, right? Because we bought Breeze started hanging around, and shout out to my brother Ray Knowledge who was supposed to be here as well this weekend. But like Ray, I met Breeze. And then I think Ray was really kicking. You and Ray was like kicking it hard. I was kicking it with Ray. Then Breeze came around. Then I'm like, man, I like this dude. You know, the music is dope, but I really like Breeze is just him. So then I brought him around some of the other guys, and we took him in as a little brother. So it's just kind of like, you know, Scooty the same way. Like I met Scooty forever ago. Same type of situation where I'm like, I walked up to him young when he was Lil Sco, young guy, and I was just looked him, you know, bro, you got it. You know, I remember telling, you know, several guys this. So like, I look at it like, you know, I made a joke about the contract, you know, making these guys start signing contracts. I should have had an A&R company or a label at some point, but I think the value in what God has allowed me to do is being able to be like, I'm Big Bro or OG or, you know, however you want to call it. Some guys call me Uncle Dub.
Yeah.
And but they got somebody, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, it makes me want to be better. Like Bree, we was kicking in the hotel. My daughters called me on FaceTime. We were talking, and it's just me talking to my daughters on FaceTime. But then Breeze told me we got in the car, man, it made me look forward to having kids, hearing you on the phone. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is like, y'all making me want to be better, right? So it's like I have something to strive for because I know it's a generation watching me. It's a generation watching you. It's a generation watching all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like they looking at Trackstarz. Y'all might not feel like we in a it's like we in this little pond. Yeah. But people want to make it look like it's this big ocean, and it's not. It's a small thing, right? But for y'all to be in the position y'all are in, y'all got to look at that like much bigger. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's not a lot of Trackstarz. There's not a lot of what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? So y'all looking on it, y'all do what y'all do every week. It start to feel like this is just what we do. This is what we do. Yeah. Y'all have a whole world of people looking at y'all like, man, this Trackstarz, like Breeze was saying, man, that's that guy, man, that's the guy of Trackstarz. So I'm just saying, I just want y'all to be encouraged because
thank you, man.
You, Jeremiah, Ryan, what y'all do is it's awesome. It's awesome. And listen, man, ain't a whole lot of people that are willing to do it. Yeah. Can do it. You know what I'm saying? Willing and can. Like, y'all are willing to do it, but it might be trash. If you're willing to do it, it could still be trash. It could still not be good. It could still not reach. Yeah. But y'all are willing to do it, and it's excellent, and it's reaching people.
Thank
you. You know what I'm saying? And y'all are making Rick, you know what I'm saying? Like that's y'all disciple. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in here, but that's y'all disciple.
I want him to hear that. You
know? That's one of y'all disciples. You know what I'm saying? And look at if you look at his growth and the things that he's able to do,
he's killing it. Yeah,
sports like man, y'all stay encouraged, man. Please stay encouraged.
Thank you, man.
We need y'all.
All right, let's take a break. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Let's go.
We back. What's up? I pulled in Rick. I got 1K Peace Sign in the building. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. Great. How y'all?
Good, man.
Good, man.
Good to see you, bro.
Good to be here.
So you representing the family today, I see.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just here, getting fed, learning, what I'm saying, for myself mostly, though. But, yeah, I'm representing everywhere I go, though.
This your first time?
With FlavorFest? Nah, this my second time.
Okay. So you a vet. All right. Yeah. So what have you learned so far that's kind of stuck with you?
Just pretty much just focusing on the artistry and, loving on people and pretty much just blending it and just being able to hold it, together, like as far as not being too much of an artist, but, what I'm saying, knowing the business of it, what I'm saying, loving on people and just pretty much just, following God pretty much. Like it's just been a dope experience just seeing different artists, express themselves, and then, you get to be up close and personal with them and, see what kind of, people they are.
So explain the 1K phenomenon, man. Like people don't know that y'all been killing it in Atlanta for a long time. Explain like how it all came together and what was like the tipping point for y'all just kind of blowing up, like, because it's clearly happened.
Well, pretty much, it just kind of started like, I had a group called Heaven Bound with my brothers and sisters, and, I was just in the city pushing, it kind of started bubbling up. We were, in our city, in our community, word was getting out, we was going performing all over, and then pretty much my brother Few, he was doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we was bumping into each other at shows. And so pretty much as we kept bumping into each other, we kept, I hear his music, hear us, and then, we kind of chopped it up a few times, and we kind of seen that the vision was kind of the same, we was going through the same kind of things from the same part of the city. So it was like, it was kind of inevitable, but it just took a little while, because we was doing our thing, So pretty much it's just like when we linked up and, Few hit me, he was like, man, I'm starting this movement I want you to be a part of, because, my group had, my brothers and sisters, they was going off to college. It was kind of like different, you know, different things. So they had kind of outgrew it. But music always been my passion. So, you know, I stuck to it. So I rebranded, you know, for P-Son, which is short for Prodigal Son, you know, for those of y'all don't know. But pretty much just, you know, once I did that and, you know, like few seen I was by myself and wasn't no longer in the group. He reached out to me. He was like, "Man, I want to, you know, do this. Want you to be a part. We're just gonna roll and push each other." And pretty much like it's just a 1K Famo is a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Of just pushing and encouraging, you know, one another. Because really, at that point, we didn't have, you know, we didn't have nobody but us. You know what I'm saying? So what we had to do is we had to just come together and push each other, encourage each other, and sharpen, you know, each other like iron sharpen iron. And just kind of push. And so when we started doing that, you know, it just started evolving. Like we, he linked up with Ken Jones. Ken Jones was rolling with Don Tino, and pretty much the same thing happened. And so pretty much like we just all came together, like, and started pushing and rolling together. And then, you know, like it's more of a brotherhood. Like when we together, we rarely talk about music. We rarely be on, you know what I'm saying, in the studio like that. When we do get in there, it's like, all right, we got to do this song, you know what I'm saying? But it's more about building because it's like, and keeping each other out the streets because really, like, we all came from that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, in this space, people kind of, it's hard for them to understand, you know, what we really lived at. We really came from that. We ain't just rapping about it. So it's like, when we didn't get the love, we kind of get rejected. It was like, man, what don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we on it. So it's like we had to learn. Like, so a lot of people, you know, see like we kind of rough around the edges in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But God been showing us and growing us, and you know what I'm saying. So now it's like, you know, God just showing out. You know, everybody stepping up, doing their own thing individually, but together as collective. You know what I'm saying? We building, you know what I'm saying? So
you guys are such a great fit. Yeah, and you remind me almost like of like a dungeon family where you have a specific sound. You guys mesh so well together. I remember having I had to host something at City Takers. I think I told Few this, and y'all were on stage performing. Y'all got so much energy. And Scott was like, "Yo, okay, get him off stage." I'm like, "I can't get them off stage." They got the whole crowd jumping up and down and chanting. I'm supposed to be, excuse me. So y'all are so, and this is before, you know, like Reach Records and all that.
Right.
Y'all had Atlanta like buzzing.
Right.
So I'm just so proud of where you guys have been able to take it from that moment I saw you guys, and it's just such a unique sound and style that's needed here. You know what I'm saying? Because it I'm trying to say this how I want to say this. You guys speak to a person that I know I can't talk to, right? Because you have a view into a world that I don't know. I could try my best, but I know that if you go out there, you can speak to something that I have no idea about. And because you guys are so serious about God, it gives me comfort to know that you guys are doing your thing. That's the best way I could say it.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much like the seriousness and really like not just being perfect because we ain't perfect, we ain't got it all together, but we really all truly do love God, and we all see like what made us fall. So we, you know, definitely like a lot of people like, you know. I don't think it take all that, you know, like the flashy, the chains and stuff like that. But it, like from where we come from, that's what it took. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was out there, you know, we barely eating our lights off. You know, our family, you know, we in church, you know, because I was raised in the church. But like, you know, my mom telling me, well, you know, God, you know, you're royalty, you know, you just telling me the stuff, you know. But then I go out to, you know, in the streets and I'm seeing like the dope boys with the money. They ain't, you know, they
look like royalty.
Yeah, they look like royalty. They look like they, you know, they good. But, you know, I go to church and my parents telling me, hey, we are the kings. And I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? As a child, it was hard to process that. You know what I'm saying? So basically our vision and our goal is like, it's just a tool. Like the chains, man, I don't really care nothing about it, but it's a tool because when when a kid see the change, you know, in some cases money, it catches their attention. And once it catches their attention, whatever you got to give to them, they're open to it. Like, people don't just wake up, I want to go sell dope. No, it's the cars, it's the bling, it's like, I want to be like that. And then when they go into detail and find out how you got there, well, this is what I'm doing. I'm slanging dope. Well, I want to do that. I don't really want to do it, but if that's what's going to make me look like this, that's what I want to do. So we want to do that for God. You know what I'm saying? We want to let people know, hey, God can give you the same thing out there. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just give him back the glory. You know what I'm saying? It ain't on us. It's on him. You know what I'm saying? It's about him. And so pretty much, you know, it's just like just being excited that we can really authentically be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And really don't have to be in a box. It's just amazing. And I thank God for, you know, opening that door for us to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
when kids come to you and when they talk to you, what are they sharing with you? Like, what you know, I don't know how often you're having kids come up like after a show or something like that and come and talk to you. What are they talking about?
Well, shoot, like it be like that. So it be from what I pick up, like they'll look and see it, and you know what I'm saying. If they following the music, they'll be like, "Oh, you hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like 1KF, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they feel that they understand. Like this is what appeals me. You know, even here, like yesterday, a guy was telling me, like, bro, like I wanna be that here. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be 1KF here, like a part of what y'all got going on, because they understand and they relate. It's just being relatable. You know what I'm saying? Rapping about, you know, things that you don't relate to, it's like real recognize real. So you can rap all day, but if they can't see it, you know what I'm saying, and feel that vibe, like, cause it's just energy, you know what I'm saying, like it's big, you know what I'm saying. And so when I real recognize real, like I know you've been through it, you know what I'm saying. Or if I'm putting it in my music and they really see that I'm from that and I'm not putting on and trying to impress nobody, like they'll connect and they'll let you know what I'm saying. Hey, you hard, bro. You know, you changed my life. Like I done heard, you know, like you made it easy to transition. My music made it easy to transition from secular music to gospel music. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So it's like when you hear that stuff, it's like, wow, God. You know what I'm saying? Cause like on our end, it's like, nah, they not letting us in. We got to change to be, you know, like this to get accepted. But like God is just opening, kicking the door open, you know, showing favor. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? And it's just. We stayed down pretty much just pushing. And we had opportunities, of course, you know, with Few, you know, getting his opportunity. But, you know, it's like before that we was going crazy in the trenches, you know what I'm saying, pushing the youth and that's just. No,
y'all definitely don't need to change anything, because like I said, the style you guys have is so unique. I don't think anybody else, if you stop doing it, I don't think anybody else could piece it back together. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very unique sound. But one thing you guys have been intent on doing recently is making sure people know you are Christian rappers, right? And you had that song, I think you guys were all in it, I'm a Christian. And what's the importance of that to you? Because what's interesting to me, because we came from the gospel rap side where, you know, the Canton Jones and all those people. And then when we kind of got aware of, you know, the CHH world, right, it's more like the CCM rap version of it. And they're very hesitant to sound too Christian.
Right.
What's the importance to you guys of saying, no, we out here and these kids need to know I'm a Christian.
Right.
What does that mean to you?
So basically, like, of course, we pushing the gospel rappers back movement, you know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much saying, like, going back to where we came from. Like, we was raised, like you said, in the gospel under the Canton Jones, and, you know, we didn't really know too much about CHH.
Yeah.
But, you know, as far as, like, the encouraging people to not be ashamed, like, truly not be ashamed, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, we had got to the point where we had got sucked into that, you know, people was telling, well, you can say certain things without saying certain things, and that's the only way they gonna let you in, you know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much trying to get in the radio and go mainstream. It's just like, you know, and then we just kind of looked and, like, you know, God showed us, like, y'all got all the tools. Like, why do you want to be that when you can be what you are where in a place that I'm giving it. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much just encouraging people to like authentically, you know, love who you are, because if you change who you are, you know, just a little bit, that means you're kind of not content with who you are for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we trying to infiltrate, but we want to let people know that this is who we are. We're not changing. We're not compromising. You know, we Christians. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you why that's interesting. You guys have the ear of the people that most Christian rappers say they want. Right? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the reason people are hesitant to say I'm a Christian rapper or I do this for God or whatever is because they're afraid that the people you actually have listening to you aren't going to accept that. And you're telling us we are talking to them and we are saying we are Christian rappers.
Right.
So what's the can you help me understand? Do you understand why they feel they can't say it and they feel like they need to blend in a little bit more? Right. What's your answer to that? Because I mean, as far as I know, I thought the same thing, right? Like the kids in the street that we're trying to reach they want it to be cloaked a little bit more.
Yeah. Don't outright say it, right? Say it without saying it.
What's their reaction to all this?
Well, pretty much I like growing and learning. You know, I had a couple examples to teach me this because I had like all kind of connections. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of opportunities in the secular, you know, on the other side, you know, but it's like, it's not so much of like what you saying, it's like how you pop it, how you embrace who you are, you know what I'm saying? So when I was trying to, like I was battling, because everybody was like, bro, you go too hard, you don't need to, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be doing like gospel rap, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, they didn't know at that time, like, that you could still pop it in your way, you know what I'm saying? So after a while, like on social media, like the people that, you know, when I started to change, you know what I'm saying, started like, bro, like, come on, bro. But when I started being confident in who I was and they seen how God was moving, it was like impressive. So it's like when I was trying to impress them, like doing what they do, it wasn't like everybody do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But like then I started to see, bro, like this gospel, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like this is the way we popping it, the way we pushing it. Like we are authentically ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like from where we come from. Now if you faking it and you that's just not your area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I would see, you know, and it was crazy because I had like, I ain't gonna mention their name, but like I had a well-known artist, you know what I'm saying? Like he got a couple hits, you know what I'm saying, out, and pretty much we went to school together or whatever, and we had some mutual friends. And the crazy part about it, like it was during the time when I was like, am I gonna do this or am I gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? And so it was crazy that like somebody was like asking him what he thought about me, you know what I'm saying? Because we hadn't really linked up, you know what I'm saying? He was like, well, he don't really know what he want to do, you know what I'm saying? So, because he would see me in the clubs, and then, you know, when I, you know, was feeling convicted and, you know what I'm saying, trying to, like, just on the fence, you know what I'm saying? Then he'll see me rapping about God, like, he don't know. So, it was crazy because once I had made, like, they told me that, and I was mad. Like, I was real mad. I was like, what he mean? Like, he ain't even trying to rap for God, like, at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, when God really just sat me down and was like, I thought about that thing. I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm really all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And God was just like, man, you got to choose me all the way. You got to choose me. I got you. I got you. And so, when I did that, I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm still keeping my, you know, my circle, but at the same time, I'm still being like who God called me to be. And so I'm going crazy, and then God start opening doors. Then all of a sudden, this same guy, he follows me. You know what I'm saying? Like, while I was doing all that crazy stuff, and no kind of like interaction or nothing, you know what I'm saying? No, didn't even know he knew I exist. But of course, we went to school together, so I knew that. But all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, we going harder, you know, we doing what we doing, you know, doing shows, and then we dropping music. Then all of a sudden he started coming. He like, keep going in the gospel. Like, and so he still do secular, but it's like sometimes you never know. Those people, you might be their only little, you know, window of God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, or they could be in a situation where they want to do what you want to do, but they can't because I'm already in a deal or I got, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it's just like it really goes back to just being authentically yourself and just keeping going. So now, like, I hit him up, you know what I'm saying? We connected, you know what I'm saying? If I need something, he got me, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, God showed me, like, you don't gotta try to do that. And you know what I'm saying? Because it's like all the opportunities, everything is coming when I lined up and just follow God and try to be, you know, who he called me to be.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So it's like, that's why I tell people, just be yourself. Be who. Don't try to. I mean, there's points you gotta hit. You know, of course, you know, with encouragement. But like, if anybody can make anything look good, and if with this, especially in this day and time, if you bust rocks, you know what I'm saying? If you make it look good enough, some people on YouTube gonna be like, bruh, I wanna try this. And you'll have like a million people, you know what I'm saying? A million people trying to bust rocks. Like, and you're like, this is what we doing now? But this,
the rock busting challenge.
Right. So it's like, it's just, man.
That's encouraging, man. That really is. Yeah. That really is, man. I'm happy for you, bro. Talk about what you got coming next, so people, you know, obviously you got people watching, so they can find your stuff and support.
Yeah, man. So I got like a flood coming out. Okay. Like I've been kind of behind the scenes, and of course, you know, I've been, you know, pushing the game, 1K Famo, and I'm always do that. But right now, it's like, I got a flood coming. 1K P-Son is coming. You know what I'm saying? Be ready. Like Church Boy, that's dropping next on the 14th. Okay. And so that's just the kickoff. And just stay tuned. I got a bunch of singles, a tape coming, a lot of things coming, and with some good stuff. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Good stuff.
You making any connections here that's gonna lead to something?
Yeah, I made some good connections. Like I've had a lot of good connections, you know, before. So this is more like as far as structure. I look at this like God is, you know, listen to these people to give you structure, because I'm giving you something, but you don't know what to do.
I got you.
You got connections, but you don't know what to do. You can get any feature you want, but you don't know what to do with it. So it's like FlavorFest has been, you know, very, you know, beneficial to me, because it's just like, all right, now I have an idea, or I have a, you know, a layout, you know, a blueprint to go by. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned Scott, bro. Like Scott's been, you know, mentoring me, you know, pushing me, you know, helped me. He helped me really stay in the fight, period. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But, you know, I just follow him everywhere he go, you know what I'm saying? But even just like, you know, even linking up with Emcee N.I.C.E, you know what I'm saying? He just, yesterday, he just showed me, yeah, he right there. Showed me all kind of love, totally just, we got in the bubble, and he's just like, all this going on, and he's just giving me jewels, telling me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the favor is there. It's like God just, you know, giving me structure and giving me motivation in myself, you know, to push and go forward, man.
That's awesome. So what's the social so people can follow you?
At 1K P-Son, everything, like at 1K P-S-O-N, you know. A lot of people get it messed up.
I'm so glad you told us what that means, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I deliver some of your songs. I never knew.
Not one time did I ever click for me like that.
And that's why it's just time to get out and talk. And I appreciate y'all, you know, let me do the interview, because it's like I want people to know who I am, what I represent. Man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's time to go up.
Let's do it. All right, you in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous. Let's take a break. Let's go. All right, so Rick thought he was here to help me host, but I want to talk to Rick as well.
Uh-oh. Okay, what's good?
And we got Avila, of course. All right, so Ric Sincere.
What's poppin'?
MTMV Sports, artist extraordinaire, man. Let's start with this. Let's start music first.
Okay.
So you released your album, Beyond Belief.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that process because a pandemic happened. So you didn't get a chance to fully like express that album. So I want people to know you put out an amazing, amazing project. I want you to tell us the story of that project.
All right. So Beyond Belief is really like, it was a walk through my life, right? So it's kind of, I basically started off thinking about kind of what was it like as a child, right? And what was it like kind of growing up and not really believing in yourself, not really having any thoughts about what you could possibly be, right? It was my walk with God and my journey of faith, right? And then him kind of opening up doors for me and showing me all kind of stuff. For one, like understanding who I was as somebody, as learning, right? So understanding who I was as a Christian, understanding who I was as a future educator, understanding who I was as a man, right? And then finding my wife. And like that's the first part is kind of finding out who I am as a person. The second part is like finding her, right?
Yeah.
And so that was like the basic vibe.
That was a big
of
moment
it.
for you.
Yeah, that was a big moment.
This man loves his wife like crazy, man. Like if you see them together, they love each other so much. it's distracting. Like they'll be off in the corner,
crazy,
hugging up on each other. It's like, yo, chill. But it's awesome to see, man. Like you could clearly see. And I knew Rick before. I actually knew Crystal before you. But I knew Rick apart from his wife. But when they connected, it was like an explosion, man.
Man, it was like I love what I was able to do in the album because, man, at first, okay, so as a kid, I was always the one who got like publicly lambasted, right? Like publicly shamed, right? And there's a skit in there that talks about that, right? And so it would be like different stuff. I'd always be the kid who everybody was like pick on and say something, and my daddy taught me how to fight. So I'd always, I take the picking, I take it, whatever, and then soon I blow up, right? And after a while, I'm thinking, I had like crazy thoughts coming up. I wanted to blow up schools and do all kind of crazy stuff. And I needed to find God. I needed to find peace. I needed to find a way to stay away from that because something could have happened really crazy. Yeah. So going through that process, finding God, that was I put all that stuff in the album. I put my whole life in story in there.
I think God allowed you to go through all that because you've been able to take that and turn it into like this amazing wit. Like, I don't know how you were able to because I dealt with that and it made me super quiet. But you got super funny. And you're able to flip things. And I think it's because, first of all, it's obvious you're super intelligent, right? So I always know when you're I'm trying to be nice about this. I always know when you're ahead of somebody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they don't know it yet. But you're mentally like prepping them for a joke.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And I could tell like a lot of that experience, it could have broken you, but you figured out how to find joy in it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people watching you can learn from that to say, I've seen you in situations that I would have crumbled. But the way you're able to tactfully navigate what could be awkward for people and turn it into joy, and not just joy for yourself, but for everyone in the room, is masterful. I just want you to know that, man.
I appreciate amazing. That. I appreciate it. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know how God gave me that ability. I felt like, for a long time, just having to defend myself and figuring out how to defend myself. Initially, it was defend myself with my hands, right? Because that was it. And then it came to a point where I'm in the house, and my little sister's like, teasing me, whatever she's doing, right? And I want to like fight her. My dad's like, I went to my dad. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna knock her out. And my dad's like, if you hit my daughter, I'm gonna knock you out.
Oh, okay.
And I said, so what am I supposed to do? He was like, you need to find another way. I said, all right, bro. Because I'm not gonna fight him. You know what I mean? Like he's bigger and better. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll find another way. And so that's when I kind of had to start to develop something, right? Some type of way to, engage and defend myself a different way, or at least engage and get rid of the threat, because that's the basis of it, right?
Yeah, that's dope, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah.
So we got Avila here as well.
Yeet.
preparing to defend his crown. So so we're doing the beat battle later, and he destroyed it last time.
Destroyed.
Like literally, people were unprepared for what he had. I was unprepared.
I don't know why he's here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Like, why don't you just move on to judging, right? Like I don't understand.
Go find the video of Avila. He put on such a show at the last one. Now, so for everybody who's come to do the beat battle this year, we've shown them the video because a lot of people don't understand what it takes to actually win one of these, right? Mm-hmm. So now people are coming for you.
They are, and they've made it known.
Yes, they're coming for you.
They're like
to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what's good? You're in the beat battle? Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. They're like, yeah, we got the video too. Bro, you killed. I was like, oh, thank you so much. And they're like, yeah, we coming for you now.
Wow.
I was like, oh, shoot. I wasn't prepared for this energy. Like, I'm going to have to go home and do some homework
and
myself.
what's interesting, you don't have the same advantage as last year because last year, this is what happened. It was 2 days. Right, so the first day he got a chance to peep his competition, and then he was able to. And this is what they didn't understand. He went and he perfected some more beats for the next day, and they were not ready for him to come back even stronger than the first time.
Yeah.
But now everything is in one day.
It's all in one day, so I don't even know
unless you
what.
Could do something special.
So I actually stayed up till 5 a.m.
Wow.
tweaking every single one of my beats to like. Just go next level.
Yeah.
So, because I was like, man, like I'm confident in what I have, but I was like, I don't even know if this is like as good as the last time.
Wow.
So I was like, it's kind of weird to say it like this. Like, so I hope it doesn't come off weird, but this is just like what's been going on in my head. But it's just like, I feel like whether I lose or win, like I feel like I'm still competing with like
the last time.
So it's like, because it was such a moment. It was such a something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, it was a moment. People really enjoyed it. It was like, even coming here, like this whole weekend for me, or the last 2 days, was crazy just walking in and people actually stopping me and like being like, yo, like the beat battle, that like that whole experience, you killed it. Like nonstop. Like as I'm walking through the different tables, and I got overwhelmed. I'm like, dang, bro, like I don't even feel like I'm in competition with these people. Not saying that, because they could have really dope fire beats, and like I said, I can win or lose, it doesn't matter. But it's like, dang, I feel like
you're competing with that moment.
If I can't create this experience again, it's like, dang, bro, like they're still like, I just feel like people are gonna look at me and be like, you did way better. You did better. You did better last time. It's like, I don't know, bro. Like,
I don't think you need to worry, because I think part of what made it exciting was just your personality, man. I think if you're having fun up there, you can't help it. It's not just the beats. I mean, the beats were amazing. It was just you, like the whole thing. And that's what I think people learn from that moment is you can have a fire beat, and it could be a fire beat to rap over,
right?
But that's not a beat battle,
for sure.
And that's what I think you showed everybody.
Yeah, so my whole goal for this weekend was to like really meet up with the different producers and like just being able to talk with them and just create this unity. I feel like we don't have, like, we have unity here and there in pockets, but it's like, I feel like when people are looked at as to be up top, I guess like right now I'm looked at as up top since I won the last time. Yeah. And so like, and people are seeing that as the example. And so it's like, okay, cool. If this is my platform, I want to utilize this platform not to be like, yo, like you got to make hard beats, whatever. But it's like, yo, like let's be in unity. Let's work together on stuff, and like let's create a friendship. Let's create a relationship, like a real life relationship that's gonna go beyond this moment. That's gonna go on this experience. That's gonna go beyond our talents. And like that was like my whole goal for this weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't know who all was in the battle until like maybe yesterday. Yeah, I met up with two of the other dudes, Sticks and C Duffel. Super cool people, and like we got to like meet up. We actually did like a studio session. We're not gonna use any of those beats, but
okay. You got to peep the competition. Gotcha.
Nah, but like not even like
that's the strategy, real talk.
Nah,
you see it?
Let's be really good friends. Everybody, come on.
Everybody,
come to the
beats.
studio.
Make sure you play that one tomorrow.
So
that's nice.
If anything, I showed my cards because I played a bunch of my. I didn't play any of my beat battle beats, but I played a bunch of my stuff, and like they were just like, yo, like yeah, like dang, you're crazy, and I'm like, you think these are crazy? And I'm just like, I'm like, wait, I don't know if you're trying to fluke.
Different strategy.
I don't know if y'all trying to fluke me or I don't know what's happening here.
You think these are crazy? You're not ready.
I'm like, did I get God or did you get God? Who's getting God right now? I thought we were friends.
You know what? You know what your role is next year? You talked about judging. Your role is car deck. So let me tell you what happened last year. Avila didn't know what was about to happen. I tried to tell him. As soon as he got off stage, I was like, Avila, your life is going to change. Are you ready for this? Right? You remember this? I was like, and right after, like, Kardec came up to him, was like, hey, what's your name? We got to do such and such. I was like, Avila, get ready. You're going to have to do a lot of work really fast.
Facts.
What has it been like since that happened?
Man, so a lot of things fell through the cracks because of timing.
Yeah.
I was not ready because at all. I didn't know what to expect. People, like, I hear that all the time, like, yo, you're like, there's a life-changing moment, there's a life-changing moment. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. It really was, and because I didn't take advantage of it, I missed out on a lot of opportunities. I had a chance to get on the what was it, the Christmas project for
I remember that.
Reach. I got a chance to get on actually Fuse album. Like, I got sent contracts. Yeah. Like, the briefs. They were like, yo, like, this is what we're looking for. But, like, their turnaround time is, like, 3 days. Yeah. I'm like, bro, I work. I can't do this. When I get home, I'm tired. Like, dang, bro. Like, give me a week at least. But no, it's, like, 3 days turnaround. And it's got to be perfect. And I'm just like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, I remember I made, like, 3 or 4. And I sent the little ideas to Kardec. And he was like, yo, these are fire. But can you, like, he gave me detailed notes on what to do, but I had work. Yeah. And I was like, and I missed out because I didn't do that. And he's like, don't worry about it. We'll get you some more. And sent me more contracts. And I was just like, bro, I can't do this. I, like, legit can't do this. And I kind of got, like, into, like, a depression because I was like, damn, bro, maybe I'm not built for this. Like, maybe this is just not the life I'm supposed to live. Like, I hate myself. Whatever. And bro, I legit, like, deleted social media for, like, a month and a half because I was getting overwhelmed with people reaching out to me and being like, yo, like, we want to work. And I'm just like, I don't. So I'm not good enough. And, like, yeah. And then after a while, my roommates, like, had to encourage me and be like, yo, celebrate the win. Like, you won. Yeah. Like, and you created a moment. Like, that was an experience. Like, celebrate that. Like, that's a huge thing for you. Yeah. And ever since, like, that day that they told me that, because, like, I was legit in my room. Like, after these moments passed, I was in my room making beats every day. I'm like, I'm not going to let this moment, like, pass up again. But because of that, I, like, excluded everything around me. Yeah. And so they had to drag me out the room. And like, ever since that day, I was like, you know what? I need to celebrate my little wins, big wins, little wins, whatever. Celebrate these wins as if it's, like, the first and last thing I'm ever going to do. And really enjoy it and live in that experience. Because I feel like people succeed in things or they gain some type of success and, like, they forget. Yeah. Like, they get there and they're like, all right, what's next? Yeah. Or, like, they get to that next thing and they're like, dang, bro, I kind of missed what happened back here. Yeah. And it's like, where'd the time go? Like, you didn't really get to experience it in full because you weren't there in full because you're just thinking about the next thing. Yeah, and I that's why I was worried about you, and that's why I tried to warn you because when I saw Kardec come up, and I know, I know Ace, and I know how legit those guys are, right? For sure. So I'm like, okay, you're on their radar. This is gonna be hard, right? But the good thing is you got to see it. Yes. And I also know that you don't want to completely give up on your rapping. Right. Because that's important to you. For sure. So now you have a chance to a do-over, right? You've seen the business. For sure. You've had time to figure out what you want to be. Yep. What is it going to be? Who is Avilan now? Bro, so this is the crazy thing. So in the time of that time to now, like, I feel like I've gone through a lot. First of all, my time in Michigan, in Detroit, was not the best time for me. Okay. My time in Michigan really taught me how to hustle, how to grind, and get it out the mud. Like, when they say, like, get it out the mud, like, that's a huge thing in Detroit. Because it's like it teaches you how to work. Yeah. Because it's like no one's gonna do anything for you. Like, you really got, like, that's everywhere, but it's like it's really like that out there. And so with that mentality, like, when I left, I was on my way back home. I was ready to quit everything. Like, literally, I was going to go back home to Florida, quit everything, and just live a normal life, go back to school, get a job. I remember. And all that stuff. But I stopped in Atlanta. God told me, like, hey, no, like, I have a different plan for you. It wasn't even for music. It was just like to serve and get back to the heart of serving and like knowing who you are and who you belong to.
Mm-hmm.
And then being with City Takers, with Scott, like being my mentor, Pastor Philip over there as well, with Crossover Church as well, like out in Atlanta. I've learned to like serve God with my heart, right? To learn my actual identity, my purpose, like with people, and like separating like who I am from my talent. Now to use my talent to bring back the humanistic values into creatives, and also like almost revitalizing creatives within the church.
Yeah.
And because I feel like they're not like, I feel like we're not focused on at all. Like we're kind of like pushed to the side a lot. It's like, oh, hey, we need your services. Anyways, all that to say, now with my platform, it's like I've been able to actually develop and build relationships with people like outside of like these different platforms, like within my own platform or within showcasing my own work. And so like with the rapping stuff, I've been getting more into like sync, commercial and all that stuff, partnering with different publishing companies, different whatevers, and been able to get some really dope placements within that. So like that's where I've been focusing my rap stuff, right? And then that like pays bills later on down the line. And then with production, I just been working with people who like honestly God's been bringing to me. Like I just been serving and literally like putting Matthew 6:33, like seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added onto you. Like I've literally that's been like on the forefront of my mind and in my heart, like to the point where it's literally happening now. And so connects with P-Sun, connects with Wande, connects now with like recently Angie Rose is somebody that like I've been able to connect with and develop like an actual real relationship, friendship, and like now we're just like cooking. And so there's like a whole bunch of other people within that spectrum too, and it's just like I don't mean to name drop, but just saying all that to say like
just pick it up after you leave.
So like, and then now I'm just like, man, like I'm actually enjoying my life. I'm not in this like fast, quick pace, like you know, since they say like the industry's like super fast, it's like if you miss it, you miss it kind of thing. Like I feel like I've literally gotten to the point I've been able and given the tools to build my own table.
Yeah.
So are you controlling your pace now?
Yeah. I honestly feel like I'm controlling my pace now to the point where I'm not forced to do things that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not forced to step out of my area. Like I've built my own table to the point where it's like, these are people I can see at my table. Or it's like, oh, hey, nice table. It's like, oh yeah, come on over. Like it's open for everybody.
I'm glad to hear, man, because I remember we met up at Panera Bread when you were you were still deciding if you were going to go all the way to Florida. Yeah. And I could tell that you were stressed.
I was so stressed,
You were super stressed. And I was like, okay, all right. So you're getting a taste of it. But I'm glad you were able to find a balance because I knew no matter what happened with those opportunities, I knew it was going to come at you real fast. If you took time to figure out what you want to do, you can get those back whenever you want, and you could 100%. Dabble in it as much as you want. So 100%. I'm glad you found that. Somebody asked, flight school.
Oh my God.
Is there any chance of that coming back?
Bro, it's crazy because flight school was legit. Like, we didn't even realize what it was.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was about to take off.
So, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
But like, bro. Man, I actually just recently talked to Rich yesterday, actually. So it's just weird. It's so funny how these things are going to pop up. But flight school, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, we're open to it, but honestly, it's just like we're both in two different paths. Rich is a family guy. He's, he just popped out a new kid. So it's like, and he's like a pastor of his own church. So like he's actually doing like what he feels like God has called him to do.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
And like for me, it's like I'm trying to figure out my own thing, my own brand. I feel like I've always attached myself to other people, so it's like I feel like God's like, hey man, like you can still do your own thing too, and it's like there's
good,
that.
man.
But I'm open to it. I'm down. I control the pace at this point, so it's just like if I want to get back into it, I'll get back into it, or if I get enough people to pester me about it, I might just have to. We just might have to do it and do like a whole reunion type thing, but it's open.
Good stuff, man.
Love it.
It's the Dundada. How are you? Come on up.
What's up, man? How y'all feeling, man?
You created something so amazing. I wish you could have heard all the artists coming here and say how much they've gotten out of FlavorFest, man.
Oh, man, that's great.
What you created in this church is like a dream to a lot of people. It's a dream to be able to be fully yourself, embrace, like you obviously have this love for this music and this culture, but it can be all given back to God.
Yeah.
Not just some of it. You don't have to be this one thing over here. So just talk about like, what gave you the vision for this? How did you survive this pandemic? Because I know that was a threat to this, but it's you could feel it in the air. Everybody loves being back here.
Yeah. Well, just to go all the way back, I mean, we created FlavorFest out of the need. There wasn't really anything else like it, and we had a lot of people that were starting to come to us, and we were becoming a model. As I became a national artist, this is like 2 decades ago, and my CD was in the stores, and there was a picture with me and all the youth group and a description, and so suddenly people were like, "You're the expert. Hey, how do we do this?" So we said, you know what? We need to put together a weekend where we can have people come and just see, live, breathe, sleep, and see what we do. And experience our community, our faith community, and our local community, how we reach them, and how we do hip hop and excellence. Because 20 years ago, churches didn't know how to do that, man. It was terrible. I was a national artist, and I would get flown out to events, and they would bring me, some of my team. They pay thousands of dollars for our travel and honorarium and everything, and then they'd set us up in a room with a boom box and a microphone and all the lights on. Terrible sound. We're like, really? Like, you brought us in for this? Like, this is, even if there was a big crowd of kids, it was terrible, you know? We're like, oh, yeah, like, you could have rented a system and turned the lights off, and, you know. So we just really wanted to train people, like, how you can do urban ministry and excellence. And fast forward to 2020, the pandemic, we were getting ready to celebrate 20 years of doing the conference because we started it in the year 2000. The pandemic hits, and of course, in the spring, I'm an optimist, and I'm like, this will be over by the summer. We're having FlavorFest, everyone, are you having it? Yeah, it's gonna be good by the summer. We're doing this little quarantining for a couple weeks or a month, and it's gonna go away. We'll be good. And man, it was not what any of us thought. Even now, this year, we're still, we had another wave of cases here in Florida, especially like in August, and people were like, are y'all still doing it? You didn't cancel? And I'm like, we're still having church right now. We have a big building. Everybody's spaced out. We required masks again for a couple of months. We went optional for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and then boom, things got bad again. We're like, hey, everyone has to wear masks again. But we were, hopeful and looking at all the data and the trajectories of the spike of cases. Like, it generally goes up for about, 30, 40 days or so, and then it's a steep drop off. And we're like, okay, FlavorFest is 2 months away, and it's going to be much better by then, in Jesus' name. And praise God, we were right. We're back to, COVID's still here, but it's very little compared to what it was. It's back to what the numbers were like in, beginning of July, like 3 months ago. So we were able to do the event and feel a lot safer about it. Not like everyone's like so, scared right now. So we praise God for that. But man, people are, we've had this weekend now. We're on the last day of it as we're doing this interview. People were ready to come back and see each other, man, and fellowship and get encouraged and inspired and get new tools. And so. We're grateful that people still showed up. We were a little uncertain. Like, we were like, it's going to be smaller this year, at least the conference part. Most of the people coming to the concerts are from Florida, and Florida's crazy and has always been open, and everybody's doing everything anyways. Like, the concerts are going to be good. But even the conference, like the last couple of weeks, as I think our context, we always wait till the last minute. So we knew that was usually how it usually is, but we're like, we don't know this time because it's different. Everything's different. But that actually ended up like it usually was. Everybody was registering the last couple of weeks, and the numbers just went through the roof of registrations. And so we ended up being about the same as we were the last time we did it.
It looks packed, man.
And then the concerts last night were great, and the numbers for tonight, we have double the amount of tickets sold from what last night is, and plus the door. So KB and Stephen Malcolm and everybody else that's coming tonight, it's going to be incredible. So man, we're excited that we're able to do this and be back, and it's a big family reunion. So to see everybody again, man, we love it. Thank you guys for coming and doing the the beat battle and helping organize a lot of things behind the scenes. And we appreciate y'all and what you do for the culture.
Thank you, man. I want to go back to artist Urban D.
Sure.
How much of this did you see back then? Like, what was your mindset when it was just music was your only focus?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of this. I was just like trying to run a youth ministry and be effective here in the city. And my music was a tool for that. Mm-hmm. And really then my music also became my tent making. Yeah. Paul made tents. I rapped. That's how I made my living, because the church wasn't able to pay me a regular salary. So I was kind of like a part-time / glorified volunteer, and could have easily went and did my music full-time and made more money, had less stress, but God never gave me the green light to do that. And so as time went on, then I became a national artist, still with the caveat. In my first contract I signed, I made them put in the contract that I would be in full control of my touring schedule.
Oh, wow.
I didn't want the label to come in and suddenly be like, hey, you're our artist now, you have to go on this tour for 3 months. Because I'm like, I can't leave my youth group for 3 months. This is my primary ministry. My music ties in with it, but it's my secondary thing. This part of my scheduling comes first. I need to be here, every week, in my community. And of course, I did a lot of one-offs and little mini tours, but I was never gone for more than a week. And so the record label, man, they had to spend another $2,500 with the lawyer to send it back to him and put that clause in there. And the guy was even telling me, this is going to cost us another $2,500, but, we'll do it. I'm like, I need it in writing.
That's good.
I need it in writing. And so I believe that God honored that. And then eventually it just developed into, we became a leader in urban ministry, and people were looking to us. And so carefully and prayerfully, we began to figure out what that mantle was and begin to do these, conferences and leadership events and train people. And then a lot of churches started bringing me in, not just to do music, but to train and speak.
Yeah.
That's primarily what I do now. I go to a lot of conferences and do workshops and speak. I do coaching with a bunch of pastors. I have an online coaching network called the Innovative Pastors Network. A couple dozen pastors are part of that. It's a monthly thing that I do. And yeah, preach at churches. And I still do a little bit of music. Okay. That's a little part of it. That's a little icing on the cake. Okay. So they'll bring me in to preach, and I'll do like a spoken word or one song. Dope. So that kind of gives me a little like different edge and uniqueness to connect with people. But yeah, I'm excited about this season and excited about the next generation of Christian hip hop artists coming up. And I'm really excited about what's been going on in CHH the past year or two. It seems like the pendulum's swinging more towards, man, it's really about the message and ministry. Yeah. And to see guys like Brian T with his movement, that's why we're excited to have him here this year. He was on the cover of our magazine, Soul Mag. What KB's doing, and just really like the businesses he's starting and the people he's empowering. And I love KB. And, we talk quite a bit because he's here in the city. And I've known him, since he was a kid, a teenager. And then to see what God Over Money's doing, and there's just a lot of little good pockets of good, healthy stuff happening in CHH. That's just encouraging.
How do you inspire that next generation to have that same ministry mindset that guys like you and Scott Free, like where from the beginning it's been okay. This is about impacting this community and beyond. Sometimes I don't see that as often. I don't know if you see more artists than me, but. How do you make sure, because that's pretty much what this conference is about, is making sure these guys know, like, hey, this is more than just you doing well as an artist. Yeah. Are you seeing that coming back at all?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like me and Pastor Scott from our crossover Atlanta campus, I mean, that's in our DNA. That's my brother right there. And that's why, we have a lot of artists in our church. We have a couple dozen artists in our church. You from the A, one of our family. You know what I'm saying? And then we have like Pastor Troy that's here. Mm-hmm. Stephen Malcolm is from his church, and he's got a couple dozen artists, and he has the same DNA as us. Pastor Jerome, who's up in Lansing, Michigan, he's got a bunch of artists. They're doing their thing. Pastor Phil, the voice from LA, and there's a tribe of us. Yeah. That are mentoring artists in our local context, in our church. And then we have events like FlavorFest that bring all those people together, and they get in this environment. They see, like, one thing I say, the speech I give to the artist, I gave it last night, I'll give it tonight again at our 5:30 artist dinner. We give some instructions for the night. I tell them, I said, look, guys, there's no celebrities here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no celebrities here. We're all equal playing field. Doesn't matter if you have 5-minute set or you got a 20-minute set. If you're a headliner, you're an opener. I invited all you guys to be here this weekend so you could partner with us at Crossover and be a leader. Yeah. You're leaders tonight. So I don't want you to hide back here in the green room.
Yes.
You can hang back here a little bit in fellowship, but I also want you to go out and support other artists in the crowd. I want you to go in the lobby. I want you to talk to people. I want you to minister to people because, yes, all of us are going to do some ministry on the mic, but God has some ministry for you to do here that's off the mic. And so I said, that's just our DNA here at Crossover Church. Like, I could act like a celebrity pastor. Mm-hmm. You know, I've written books. I've got album deals, publishing deals, TV deals. I've been all over the world, all those things. But after every, what's that? What'd you say?
Talk that talk.
I said, but after every church service, I'm in the lobby. And I'm shaking hands and hugging on people and loving on people, washing my hands afterwards, you know, and making myself accessible. I'm not a superstar. Yeah. None of my staff is. And so I'm asking you to come join my staff and my team this weekend. And so that's our DNA here. This is not your typical church conference, no celebrities.
It's interesting to hear you say it because that was the first thing I noticed. That was the very first thing I noticed all the way back in 2015 when we came. It was the first time I had ever been in an event where artists were just around. You know, the mantra that I grew up with was you were taught artists stay in the green room, keep this air of mystery around yourself. You're supposed to be like, you know, like precious, you know. Yeah. And when I came here, it was like, wow, like there's KB, there's Lecrae over there, there's so and so, and they're just talking to people. That like reset my framework of what this is supposed to look like, and the fact that was intentional and everybody got the message. It's amazing. I just want to make sure you know, like that matters. What you did, man. It matters because the artists that come here for the first time and they see that, it does something to them. Yeah, it lets them know that, like you said, nobody's above anybody else. Some of the people you're rapping, like we've had the honor of performing on stage, and we know how, you know, serious the process is to even be selected as an artist. It's not just like, hey, we stringent
on it. You gotta send in a physical packet. Most people are like, you ain't got a digital packet? No, I want you to print it out.
Yeah, so
send this relic called a compact disc. Get a pastor's recommendation of the church that you are a member at. Yeah. Well, I'm not a member of the church. You're disqualified to perform at FlavorFest. We only want to put people on our platform that are plugged into a local body. We want healthy artists. Because if you're not plugged into the local body, then we don't know if we can trust you to come here and join our leadership team for this weekend. Because you're not submitted anywhere. You don't have a spiritual covering. Yeah. You know, so anyways.
That stuff resonates here, right? So I just remember that opportunity and realizing it's like a lot of artists see the artists on stage and they're like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be like that. And then when you come here, you realize you're just performing a function. There's people in the audience that have a gift that you don't have that you will need at some point. Nobody is above anybody here. And that's a legacy that's going to last forever that you started here.
That's
I
awesome,
just want you to
man.
know that.
That's awesome. Leaving his mark.
That's awesome, man. So again, congratulations. Like this, there's so many artists that have come from here that what you started here is just going to resonate on forever. So thank you, sir, for what you've done and what you continue to do. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Love what y'all do, man. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. I know you got stuff going on. I see people like, all right, we got to get Urban D to the next thing.
Yeah, we're doing an outreach right now, so I want to go hit the block.
Go do your thing, man.
See, that's too. I was not like, send everybody out. I'm going to go take a nap. No, I'm going out right now to give out some groceries. I want to stop by the laundromat down the block and meet some people and fellowship with some people.
Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Love y'all, man.
Thank you, man. All right, let's take a break. You in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go. All right, guys. So we are done for the day. Rick, how'd you feel? I honestly, I didn't plan on all this happening today. I told Ryan, because Ryan is back at the hotel sick.
Sick?
He got a migraine.
Oh man.
He started feeling it last night when we were doing interviews. So pray for him. But I was like Ryan, I'm gonna go try and do the show live, even if it's just me sitting down. And then ever since then, it's just been people just coming through. So shout out to Jerry, man. He's been helping me grab people and like it's just been an amazing experience. So
I've been in the hallway, and as I'm talking to artists, right? I mean, because people only know me because I'm here with y'all. So, and that's barely right. Like if they caught that season, then they know. Then they know who I am, right? And so then they're like, "Yo, when can I get the Trackstarz interview? When can I get Trackstarz interview?" And so I was like, "I'm talking to people. He's grabbing people, and I feel like there's been a constant flow, and it's been a really good flow. And I think every conversation in here has been extremely." It's just an authentic conversation. It's a wide open conversation, and it's been free flowing and fun.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. 30 minutes longer than normal. I appreciate y'all. So we're going to go do some other stuff. We got to get ready for a beat battle, and I need to go see if Ryan is still, doing good. So, all right. Thank you, guys. You in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.